Discretion is advised.
I think I actually did it right this time. Yes! I'm super excited that I'm finally getting the handle of this Stream Deck situation. Happy Thursday. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 204. We are in patch 7.3.5. Tonight, we're going to be talking about lots of stuff and junk. And by stuff and junk, I'm hoping... Just kidding. I'm sure it's going to be relevant and important and all the things you need to know. And I'm sure it's going to be filled with all the things that dreams are made of. To help us talk about that stuff and junk, we did bring the Iron Man himself, Sir Stone. He's muted, so he can't even say anything, and I love it because it's the only time I get to play God. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there are those who defy convention, the proud who laugh in the face of trolls and never flinch, the few who strive on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve, they who eat tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you She Can Start a Revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell the Pwnecast Vanguard. Through light and darkness, he commands the void, Remedies the Sage Lore Master. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are Pwnecast.
You know, I haven't really been having any, quiet moments with you guys in a while. I always unmute right away so that you guys can hear Rem and whoever our guest is, but I feel like I miss those intimate moments with you guys. And I feel like this week, with it being such a rough week for me specifically, I feel like I just want to have a moment where we're just intimate together. And we don't have to make it weird, guys. I'm not asking for a ring, and we don't really have to have a commitment. It could be just a one-night thing, you know? No? Yes? Did I make it awkward? Yeah, I did? Okay. I figured. But I am going to go ahead and unmute these fine gentlemen with me, or rather, actually, if you're new to Pwnecast, my name is Belle, and with me is the co-host with the hairmost.
I mean, kind of, sort of, not really.
I mean, his hair is pretty great. Yeah?
That's like the nicest thing you've said about me.
Well, don't get excited. My compliments, I'm sure, in 20
minutes, far in
minutes,
between.
I'll be insulting you. And I did also bring, as you guys heard me mention earlier, joining us tonight is my good friend, Mr. Stone from WoW Challenges. He is the, the man. No?
Now it's awkward.
I feel like you're the man of something.
I don't know.
That's a good movie, by the way, The Man. It's got Jimbo's... I don't remember the actor's name, but it's a good movie.
What are you talking about?
He does that often, and then he makes me feel dumb because I don't know. And sometimes I'll smile and nod and pretend like I know.
It's an obscure movie. I can't remember the actor's name, but it's a good movie. That's all you need to know.
I feel like you're an obscure movie, right?
Wow.
I feel like that's pretty accurate.
All right.
That's my whole life. Yeah.
This is how things are gonna go, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Like I said,
hopefully, I don't know, anybody watching, if you guys are getting any feedback, I decided right now I didn't feel like wearing my headset. Mostly because I have a headache, but also because lazy. So hopefully you're not hearing them through my mic, which I think I'm pretty good.
Why can't I hear myself?
Oh my God. They probably heard that because you were loud. He's such a jerk. Stone, we suddenly have an opening for another cast member.
Anytime I am here to
I feel
help.
like Rem needs to take a administrative leave.
Wow.
Wait, is this a paid administrative
Well,
leave?
I mean, you're not paid for being not on administrative leave, so I wouldn't imagine that I would
That's
pay
valid.
you for... Yeah, Lycan can always come back, too. I mean, that would be, like, killing two birds with one stone. I could have two people back. Ha, Stone, you see what I did there?
Stone. I see, yeah. Yeah, I get it.
I'm
Oh,
clever
man.
and I didn't
This
even mean to be. No,
This is not gonna go well.
no, it's not. It just isn't, and that's okay. But let's get some quick news out of the way. So March 27th, of course,
Oh,
is...
two birds, one stone.
Oh, God.
No.
Ugh.
You have to make it awkward. It's my thing.
You're making my palms sweat, and it's not a good palm sweat either. It's like the awkward palm sweat. So for Tuesday's reset, which is going to be March 27th, the World Quest bonus event is up. Hey, don't forget to pick it up before you go doing your World Quests, because then it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, I just did that with the time walking. I was running with some guildies, and I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I don't have the quest 3 fucking dungeons in.
It's my favorite thing to do, is to do all of the world quests, every single emissary that's up, and...
Yeah, I'm productive. Oh, wait.
Ah, man, it's just bad for business. Stone, are you good at remembering those kinds of things?
Yes. No.
Yeah, me neither.
No. Yes.
I feel like I should set a reminder when it's the World Quest bonus event week to not forget. Sometimes I'll pick it up like on Bell, but when I go to the Monk, who's the second one I play most, I'll completely just, and I'll even say to myself when I'm switching characters to remember to grab the quest, and I squirrel. Such is life. There's no PvP brawl the week of the 27th, but after the 27th is my favorite, which is, my second favorite, Arathi Blizzard, mostly because I can't really find Lighthouse with the storm going on.
You mean Lumber Mill? Lighthouse is Gilneas.
I mean Lumber Mill. I don't know why I said Lighthouse. Fuck.
Wrong battleground.
Ugh.
You're the PvP guy. Come on.
Wow.
I'm going to need you to get better with your lore anyway, so, like, just throwing that out there. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Lycan's better, so I heard. So
Dark Moon Fair, April 1st. And it's not like an April Fool's Day joke. So make sure you take advantage of that. I feel like there's another episode before then. So
Yeah,
I don't know why I mentioned Dark Moon Fair, to be honest.
because it's important.
Well, I feel
Dark
like I
Moon
wanted
Fair.
you guys to be prepared. Shit. Can you believe I did that? And I guess I also don't need to tell you about Noble Garden. That's April 2nd, because that can be for next week's episode. And we'll discuss anything that new that they're adding for that. But just be aware that Dark Moon Fair is coming. So if you're still working on reputations to unlock your allied races, that's going to be a good time to take advantage with the hat that you can get, riding the carousel, and there's still the mount, which is semi-ugly, but a lot of people like it. And
I need the
Dirigible.
1,000 ticket dirigible. Oh, dang, I was close.
how do you say it?
Dirigible.
The dirigible?
It's like the dirigible or something. I don't know.
Dirigible.
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 Listen, if anybody from Blizzard is watching or listening or gets wind of this episode in any shape or form, I'm going to need you to put things in game I can pronounce. Because I'm trying to come across as semi-educated, and it makes it really difficult when you put stuff in the game that I can't pronounce. Just throwing that out there. Just a humble request. Humble request from, somebody who is semi-intelligent. Not as smart as Rem, though, right? No, very few people are as smart as Rem.
There's a lot of people.
He's like super smart. So a couple people, is it added like the @ sign on Twitter about this PvP hotfix situation that happened for tanks. Now, the only thing about it is I don't know what is a nerf and what isn't a nerf. I don't tank. I tanked one time. It was a bad scene, guys. If you had the pleasure of being in the dungeon with me tanking, it wasn't good.
It was painful.
So
It's kind of rude. Just, I'm
not gonna lie.
Just as like an outsider having to look in, it's kind of rude, man.
It's okay though. When was this? This was not Miss Pandaria. It might have been Wrath, maybe. I rolled a blood DK because that's what you did, right? Because it was new.
Yeah. Well, blood DKs are the class that you should have rolled. And
Right. Well, so I go into this dungeon thinking, no, it couldn't have been Wrath because we didn't have. When did we get the group finder? We got that in Miss, right?
No, I mean, no, you had that in Wrath. It was
Okay,
just,
then it was Wrath. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
thought that just because I was in Blood Spec, that the game knew that I was a tank and that it instantly aggroed all the things in the dungeon to me. Like, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to, like, run in and be like, yo, I'm here. Yeah, it turns out it's not.
Someone should have been like, if you yell in chat, the ads notice and run to you.
Yeah, I didn't know.
hey, you.
It wasn't like till halfway through the dungeon, my friend at the time who I gamed with, I don't know that he plays anymore, but his name is Sean, and he is also Canadian because I seem to like collect Canadians, and I don't know, like they just naturally, I'm friends with all the Canadians. But he was like screaming at me on Skype, and I was like, what am I doing? Like I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. And he's like, dude, you're not aggroing anything. And I'm like, I don't know. I think my tank spec is broke. So I was so embarrassed. I didn't even play the DK for a really long time after that because I was very embarrassed. So Rem, your professional opinion regarding the tank changes that happened, which I think it was the 20th that those got rolled out?
Well, my opinion is that it doesn't matter. Just kidding. It's not like really overall I mean, they're nerfs, obviously, but I've never tanked in PvP, but being a tank in PvE, and it's kind of like the same scenario, you have to survive as long as you can. A lot of these aren't really big nerfs. Like, it's like 2% to increase damage, and then some abilities were just extended on their cooldown and stuff like that. So it's not really something that's going to make or break anything. It's like 15 seconds here. I don't even know what, because I don't do Vengeance at all. But the monk seems fine. They're going to be fine. I don't know why, if there's a huge outcry, but I think
don't really
people
know because I've been a little bit disconnected from like the community this week than I normally am, because usually like I'm all about the social media and I'm all over like, you know, what people are complaining about, what's going on. I watch the threads, I watch the replies when stuff's tweeted out like from the devs so that I can get other people's reactions instead of just, because some of this stuff is not important to me, so you know, I wouldn't necessarily have an opinion on it, but I wanted to kind of see. But there was a couple people that technically PvP, they're like, yes, that's great. Tanks should be, you know, you should be able to play whatever spec in PvP. I ignored that tweet because I thought now here was an opportunity for me to just shitpost and tell people how I feel about tanks in PvP. But then I thought, this week's not the week for it. We'll just let that go. So I don't know that it was, I didn't see anybody complaining about it.
Yeah, I haven't on the forums that much this week, but I haven't seen an outcry about it for or against. It's probably just like in the middle, honestly, in terms of how bad it could be.
I think the only thing that really bothers me about the tanking situation is it shouldn't be impossible to kill somebody. And I mean, the offside of that argument could be healers, because it's pretty hard to kill a healer. However, it really isn't hard to kill a healer in a battleground per se, especially when you have another person, you know, that's helping you DPS down that healer, or maybe you have another healer who's CCing that healer so that you can, you know, do your business. I feel like if they're going to continue to allow tanks to be viable, because it's not necessarily, if they weren't viable, they wouldn't be there. So it's not the player's fault. It's, you know, Blizzard's making it a thing, which is fine. They want tanks to play PvP. Cool. I'll shut the fuck up about it. But maybe you could make it where it's like, if you 3v3 and then two of them are blood DKs, well, fuck, why should I even bother? I might as well just leave this shit, because...
Well, you should be able to roll over tanks, obviously, but when they're able to outlive you while like 3 other people are hitting them, then it's kind of ridiculous.
Right.
But when it comes to arenas, they shouldn't even be allowed in at all.
I agree. I
But-
agree. Like I've said many times,
Yeah.
I do concede that there are times when I feel like they should be there. There are flag carrier maps. There's, you know, certain situations where I feel like they're useful, but I don't think in arenas, especially seeing them at the top in any fucking tournament.
Yeah, when it's at a BlizzCon match, it's kind of like, okay.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for everybody. Everybody should be embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I even am a fan of PvP when that happens. So, Stone, do you
Well-
tank in PvP?
The only time I do PvP, I run as blood. So I'm just sitting here and
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's me. I am that guy. I don't usually arena though, so I usually just do my casual PvP where
Do you feel good about like tanking? Do you like tanking in PvP? Is it fun for you?
I like being able to do my objectives and get them done and get the hell out of there and not have to die quickly. I've been killed many times. But
Are you talking about the Warden Towers or like in the BG?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't really do PvP like queuing up and all that stuff because I don't really have
Oh,
to-
you're not talking about where you like queue up for
Oh.
instance PvP.
No,
okay.
like world stuff. So
Oh, I think
what I
that's just a natural process, especially given world PvP, and hopefully, you know, we see good things from world PvP with BFA, with it being, you know, you being able to toggle it, which we're going to talk about that a little bit later, because I think it's interesting to discuss what that means for WoW challenges when it comes to Iron Man stuff with those changes, because I think it's a little bit unique with those changes, and I need to remind myself to not forget to talk about that with you, because
And it's gone.
yeah, it's already gone. We're already done
Wow.
with that. Nothing else really going on as far as that's concerned. Some interesting stuff though. $1.8 million was raised for all the Shadow Pet purchases, which I think it was
That's
over
awesome.
like 2 months, right? 2 or 3 months. And that went in support of American Red Cross, which disaster
Yeah, it was
relief.
the
and-
in-game and the plush. Hmm.
Oh, I did forget about the plush. You're right. Oh, I guess over the years their total is like 15 million of what they've raised with what we had the
The Syndicate and
the Argy pet. What was it called? The goat? Was it a goat?
Yeah, Argy.
It's art, yeah.
Yeah, it was Syndicate and Argy and some other kitty, I believe.
Wasn't the Altric Brew Pup and
Yeah, that was Red Cross.
wasn't it a bundle? You could get 2?
Something Dark Side. Yeah.
I think the Shadow one is the only one I might not have purchased, and it was just for no other reason other than I just didn't. I wouldn't buy the plushie. The plushie was ugly. It did not look like the pet, in my opinion. Whoa,
Wow.
sorry about that, guys. It did not look like the pet, so I didn't like it. It just looked super basic. But
Sure.
I love the fact that Blizzard does these things. I mean, people are gonna buy it because it's a pet in game.
Yeah.
So for those that purchase it with the thought in mind of knowing that it's going to be donated, I think that that's great.
Yeah, the only time I've ever bought an in-game pet was because it goes towards those events.
Right. Where I'm not going to say that I don't, because then people are going to be like, wow, she doesn't
You
even want
don't
to
care
give
about
to
the dying
charity.
children.
But I mean, I would buy them regardless because they're pets and it's collections, stuff to collect. But I think it's great that Blizzard does that because they don't have to.
I usually buy them. I don't think I bought this one because I don't care about the kids. No, it was more saving
Wow.
more for BlizzCon. So
I think it was the Fey Dragon. The Fey Dragon and the Brew Pup, I believe, was the combo that you got. Because I have both of those. Because the Brew Pup had a freaking keg on his neck or something.
yep.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
so they
kidding.
actually have a little thing of whiskey on
Yeah,
the
that's my kind of
the
pet.
Bernards.
He was bred to be my friend.
Because it actually warms up your insides if you're out and cold in the snow.
I feel like you made it weird.
Sometimes science. Hello?
But that's, you know, we're going to roll with that punch because that's totally okay that you made it weird. Mythic Antorus is now cross realm. So group up, grab a buddy, go in there and get your mythic on. I think it's great because I know that there's a lot of guilds at this point that are probably not doing progression anymore because they've already finished. Like, we're one of them. But I'm sure my guildies would like to be able to maybe run mythics or, you know, whatever. And maybe they've got friends on another server that can do that kind of stuff. So I think it's
What
cool.
are friends?
I don't have friends, but...
I mean, now you know that the raid is over because now that you can cross realm group with them,
Yeah.
now it's done. It's like official.
Yeah, when they log it for Mythic, then it's like, okay.
Yep.
It does give the sentiment that it's, you know, we're wrapping it up. People have done all their progression they're probably going to do. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of guilds that are still doing things. We do not feel the need to continuously raid in the same raid.
Cleared Heroic and...
Yeah,
And
once
on the
we've
high
cleared
note.
Heroic, and normally we'll farm Heroic to make sure that the raid team's geared, but it's not necessary because there isn't another raid tier after this, you know? We're going to get new gear while we're leveling, so...
Well, bird greens. Yeah.
Well, that is always painful, right? It's like it's painful. When
Well,
you
also,
first start leveling.
if you got decked out in heroic gear, it'll last you, like, typically, it'll last you, like, maybe 4 or 5 levels. So, I mean, it's worth it.
And I don't know that yet because in alpha we can't copy our tunes over. So we, you know, when you create your tune, you start with what they give you. But I'm going to be interested in checking that out and seeing like what that translates to and how long does it take before we have to replace a piece. Because I remember when I don't remember much of Legion as far as that goes because there was so much excitement and so many different things going on that a lot of the beginning of Legion is kind of a blur as far as like steps. But I do remember in Draenor, I think I was like 4 levels in before I had to replace anything, which is good. And now we've got legendaries galore. So, you know.
Well, that's how I determined, because the legendaries in Alpha at the moment go to a certain level, and those are at 1,000, so a little bit of math.
I don't math.
What level do they go to
I mean, I don't.
in alpha?
I don't remember off the top of my head. It's like 240 or something other.
I don't
Oh,
math.
okay. So really low.
I just
Yep.
smash buttons.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my math. I just smash buttons. And if it dies within a certain amount of like keybinds, then I know that I'm doing good.
You play a warlock, right?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah.
Affliction, right?
Your mom plays Affliction.
Wow.
She is an affliction.
Seriously, don't tell her I said that because I love her. I did some testing, which we'll talk about that in my week in WoW because I was doing some testing on Destro, and I had forgotten that I had picked certain talents to test specifically, and I completely forgot to do the testing on those. So I finally was able to do that. But we'll talk about that when we talk about that later. And the final thing, because there isn't a whole lot of news now. There's tons of news because BFA, right? BFA is happening. Data miners are busy. Like, we have tons of that stuff coming out. Blizzard's been relatively silent about a lot of things. And I think we all know those reasons. They're probably gearing up to open up more zones in alpha so that, you know, once those get open, they can then move it into the beta process,
Well,
hopefully.
Yeah.
And
There's
then,
only
of
one
course, we
more zone.
have... What?
There's only one more zone
Per side, though, right?
per side,
Yeah.
and then the all expeditions, I guess, technically count as a zone.
Right.
Right.
So they probably have to have like all the zones, and they have to refine things a lot better. The map is awful because it's not done before they can even begin to move that into beta, and alpha's still super buggy. But with them being busy with that, we're also waiting for the BlizzCon announcement. And I know I'm not the only one, but when Blizzard is silent, you know that things are moving, and then you start to expect really big things soon because they're not silent for long when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I don't think we're going to see an announcement until probably mid-April. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, if they could save it till April after
I don't see it happening anytime
Yeah,
soon. I think we're looking at mid-end of April before an announcement. But I've been wrong before, but it just...
I mean, when you look at last year, we were ordering our first sets of tickets April 7th, right?
Yeah. I think they're not ready for the crazy. And even though I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, because that's what we wait for. The second we get home from BlizzCon, we're waiting for it to start again. But I'm glad that it isn't, because I'm not ready for the crazy just yet. I haven't even started working on the Kickstarter for DitchCon.
Oh my goodness.
I had a moment last week where I'm like, what if I just don't do DitchCon? What if we just don't?
Wow. No.
I know, and then I was like, people would probably kill me, so maybe we should just get out of that mindset and just start preparing and stuff. So this next week, I am going to start working on the Kickstarter stuff so that I can be ready to go when it launches. I try to launch it away from when Calm Before the Storm does theirs. The problem is I can't wait too late to do it, because I have to pay people to hold the things for the party. So I'm going to try to do like a week or two behind Con Before the Storm. That way it's just like, it's not because there's a lot of people that dual support. That way it's not like hitting everybody's same paycheck. Maybe we can do like a, trying to be a little bit aware.
Timing.
I mean, I'll put you on the corner, Rem.
You already did last year.
And my husband's a ginger, and he's ridiculously good looking.
He's a beautiful man.
I'll put them both on the corner, and I will make double the money.
Oh, now it's a competition.
If anybody is interested in purchasing a night with Rem, you can email me at bell@pwnecast.tv, and I will rent him out to you for an evening. Not necessarily like indecent proposal style, but...
Pretty sure prostitution's illegal on Twitch.
Well... Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yes.
Some things I've seen tell me that isn't necessarily true.
Moving on.
Great. Now we're banned.
I do not support prostitution on Twitch. However, outside of Twitch, you might want to give me a call.
Well, here's the thing, though. Did you say that you might want to give me a call?
Anyways.
We could go to Nevada, Rem, and we could be legal. It could be good. We could make a ton of money. You're young. My husband's young. Like...
You'll get money with Dark.
I'm just saying, like, you guys are money in the bank. People think that women potentially can make more when it comes to that kind of thing, but that's actually not true. It's not true at all. Anyway, we don't need to walk down that road of discovery, but see, we already have people that are like trying to purchase you.
They're this just being gonna nice, happen. Okay.
We're gonna do a silent auction. I'm gonna set that up this week, guys. We're gonna do a silent auction.
Anyway, something new is coming to the launcher. Can't wait.
He'll do something strange for some change, guys. Just so you know. Yes, so Call of Booty is coming soon to a Battle.net launcher near you. We're not surprised. We talked about this when, Destiny made its appearance. We all noticed that there's a plethora of space at the bottom. So, I mean, this doesn't affect anybody because it's still, Well,
I thought that space was reserved for StarCraft, World of StarCraft, so...
Well, it doesn't really affect me because that's not my thing. But I think it's just it's the same thing with Destiny. It's just for the social element. Blizzard isn't going to be supporting anything game related, which they do anyway because Blizzard is Activision. But isn't that interesting? I was telling my husband the other day because my husband's a huge Call of Duty fan, and I just thought, like, the whole time you played Call of Duty before he even started playing WoW, he didn't know that, Activision owned Blizzard and, Activision owns...
I don't think a lot of people realize
He didn't make that connection. Yeah. And I just said, how funny is it that my favorite game in the whole world is connected to your favorite game in the whole world? Well, he's Overwatch now, but you guys get it.
When was it that they got bought out? It was...
I don't remember. It was...
10 years ago? Or no? Or is that too far?
I thought they always owned it. Did they not develop it?
No, it was
Oh.
No, it was a while after. It was probably after Wrath when they were
When
really
they hit the
scaling up. Yeah.
Well, and they also own my other favorite game, my favorite phone game, which is Candy Crush.
Oh,
That's great.
They're so much a part of my life. Like everything that they do, they're a part of my life because they own something. If they could just own taco trucks and like deliver to my door, that would be something super worthwhile, I think. Yeah?
Well, Blizzard has them in their pockets. It's not like they own them.
Like taco
hit 'em-
trucks?
Yeah, they hit them up and they're out in their fucking parking lots.
Yeah, wouldn't you if you were a taco truck owner?
Yeah, that's easy money.
Nerds, hello? That are hopped up on fucking energy
Dew.
drinks and Mountain Dew? Like, yeah. Bring me all your tacos. I will take all of them. Simultaneous tacos, even. I attempted to make that a little bit weird, but it didn't really translate. So let's talk about some BFA things.
No,
We didn't talk about the personal loot situation last week, mostly because I think it just slipped my mind, and somebody reminded me on YouTube, and I was like, oh, shit. Here's the thing about personal loot being forced, right? To them, there's no tier sets, so what's the purpose of having it if there's no tier sets and there's a higher total loot count on personal loot versus, you know, your master loot, whatever? I think it makes complete sense to focus less on loot during raids, and spending 20 minutes in between each boss pull to, you know, however, I know that there's some guilds that are like super about loot council and, you know, playing God and deciding, you know, who should get.
TKP and I think
Yeah.
it's like EGP or loot.
I don't got that kind of time. Like, I don't have time for that. So I personally, I think it's a step in a positive direction so that the focus can be had more on the content and less on the process, which has been my mantra for like the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Stone, what about you? What do you think?
I actually like personal loot. It leads to less drama, and honestly, the only thing I actually saw this on Twitter, and I kind of agree with it. I would like that if you do LFR and you get something, it does not tell the raid what you got, because you're whispered constantly. And if you don't want to give up that piece of gear, they get on your ass. And they're like, why not? I need it. It's like, well, I need it too. Well, I need it more. I've only got all of the tough shit, right?
Whoa.
So, hey, man. I mean, it's my gear. Hey, on my shows, I'm not allowed to swear. So I'm
Yeah,
here.
and you know you can go nuts here
And
because I have
and my wife
zero.
And my wife is not here right now, so I can swear and not get
Go ham.
punched
There's no
in-
line that I have that you can't cross.
Okay.
There's like the line
Alright.
doesn't physically exist, so you're good.
Okay, so cock balls. Okay, great. So,
That was amazing.
no,
by the
but
way.
I mean, it's like, you know, that's one of the things I don't like about LFR right now. Like, I mean, yeah, it's easy, and I only do it to go complete some quests and stuff like that. So I'm not expecting it to be hard. Although, you know, we all like it hard a little bit every once in a while, but
At least twice a month.
a little bit more than that. So
I have 5 kids.
it's, ooh, sorry, I've only got the 2. We are done at 2. After that, it's zone, and I don't want to deal with zone, man. So, yeah, I mean, if they could make it so that your gear, what you get for loot was not shown to the raid, I think it would solve like a lot of drama there. But that's not guild drama. So personal loot guild wise, I think is okay. That's what we use, so it's no big deal. I think it was going to affect more mythic guilds because they like to run and hand out the gear to whoever needs it, right? And I think
it was just mostly in regards to tier. Now, correct
Tier.
me if I'm wrong. You could still trade pieces to players if it's an upgrade for them. Yes, you still have that hour window. I didn't read anything
Yeah, so
about them removing
2
that.
hours, yeah. They have not removed that. I think it's still 2 hour to trade.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah, even if you leave the group and meet up later.
Great. 10 of us fucking warlocks are going to go in and I'm going to get some shit. Like, I think it just means you have to have better management of your raid and making sure that you double up on your, you know, your armor classes. Make sure you have 2 leather wares. You have 2, you know, make sure that you have enough to cover. But honestly, with there being no tier pieces, what is there to be concerned with you not getting? There isn't anything special that you're getting outside of higher item level gear.
Well, if they're going to remove Master Looter, then they need to reduce the restrictions on trading personal loot, like when it's the same eye level, or if it's a higher eye level, but the stats are like completely opposite of what you need. You should be able to trade that regardless.
Somebody mentioned that on the forums for
feedback. Yeah, they have that handicap in there. It makes 0 sense.
Yeah, somebody did mention that on the forums for feedback, and that was just like a couple that I had read. So I'm sure, because if I was them, I would think the same thing. Hopefully, I'm hoping that they're agreeing with you on that thought process. I 100% agree with Stone. I am not a selfish person. There are times when during raid, there's something that I need, but I will make sure that the guildie gets it. And if I end up winning the role, sometimes I feel bad and I trade it to them anyway, just because I feel bad about it. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, gear doesn't mean shit to me. I don't care about that. The only thing I've ever honestly cared about is my weapon. My weapon has always been what's mattered to me when it comes to something I'm farming in a tier. And it could be because I like it visually. But I'm a transmogger. If I get something in raid that, yes, it might be, I'm an LFR and I don't like LFR. So if I'm in LFR, it's either because I have to do a quest or because there's something in there that I want. So just because I go in at 961 item level doesn't mean, you know, that I am obligated. I'm not obligated to give anybody anything. If I want to, I can and I will, but I'm not obligated. So I do 100% agree. I do think it's nobody's business what I get in raid. So I think from an LFR perspective, I don't think that should be visible. From a raid perspective, I do think if it's an organized run, I do think that I think it helps if everybody can see what was dropped. But
there's really no way of hiding what loot drops.
There isn't a line of code that they can put in?
There is, but there's no reason to. Just mute the person that's being an annoying little asshole.
I've almost been kicked because the person I said no to got everyone riled up in the freaking raid. And it's like, I don't want to wait another hour to queue up for this bullshit.
Right.
Because one douchebag was
I think that there should be I think there should be some privacy when it comes to pugging. I 100% agree with that, especially in looking for group. I think that there should be should be some boundaries there. I don't even want to be an LFR to begin with. So it's really none of your business what I get. If somebody whispers me and it's something I don't care about, like if it's a ring or if it's a necklace or if it's something that is, I'm not interested in a transmog, or I'll look at it and go, yeah, this is ugly, you can totally have it. It's going to be because I want to give it to you, not because I'm obligated. I don't have to be charitable if I don't feel like being charitable, and I shouldn't be made to feel bad because I didn't give you literally the shirt off my back. It should be a choice that I make, and if I choose to make that choice...
Well, I mean, when you flip that coin, I've gotten plenty of gear from randos and LFR where the piece was beneficial to me. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying I don't want it to go away from chat, because either A, you're going to get something useful, or B, you're going to be able to help someone out, even if someone's going to... The 0.1% is going to be an annoying little prick.
It's not 0.1%. He's right. Every single LFR, I get hounded via Whisper. Every LFR. There's not been one LFR where I have not been hounded via Whisper.
Moving on.
I'm just letting you know, like, I'm telling you, it is a real problem. There has not been one LFR.
I'm aware of the problem.
Huh?
I'm aware of the problem, but it's not as profound as you think it is.
Well, a lot of the shit you complain about isn't profound as you think it is. So I guess that's the difference, and having different opinions and what that means, right? You still think you're amazing because you're a shadow priest.
I never said I was amazing at a shadow priest. What the fuck is going on?
I just had a flashback like I was a knob.
Awkward.
Hold on.
Freaking awkward.
I gotta pull myself out of this flashback right now. Hold on. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it, guys. We're gonna be okay.
Wow.
We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. We are going to be. We're gonna make it through this, and we are gonna be better friends because of it. So yes, there are two sides of that coin.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately people should understand that they're not entitled to anything that is mine. So if I choose to share it with you, it's because I choose to share it with you. If I decide I don't want to share it with you because I really, really like these boots that I got and it goes perfectly with my slut mog, I'm going to fucking keep it. And you're going to need to be okay with that. If not, go fucking cry about it on the forums and tell people about how everybody's mean to you. And, you know, go eat another fucking Hot Pocket because I don't know how to help you.
So long story short, community issue, not a system issue.
But sometimes you have to use the system to help correct the community because the community as a whole...
Well, now you're
There's
gonna
no PC way to say that, so I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm
now
not gonna make any
punish
friends.
the good people.
Communities as a whole.
But you know what? That's usually how it goes. There's always the small handful that fuck it up for everybody else, man. That's usually how it goes.
Well, and sometimes
and that's everything life, man.
sometimes I'll want to give a piece to who I'm with, my friend. I've done that. Even in regular raid. Like regular raid, you know, you've raided with us, Stone. If you have something you want to give up, you send the raid leader a message and she, you know, sometimes I don't do that. I give it directly to my friend because I know they need a certain thing. And I don't know if that's right because I'm the guild leader. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing that, but I feel like it's mine to do with what I want. And if I choose to want to give it to my friend who I know really needs it, then I'm going to give it.
No, the second it goes into your bags, it becomes the guild's. So.
Right. But it serves the greater purpose anyway because said friend is a raider. So it's not like I'm...
Yeah, remember the necklace you wanted, Stone? Yeah, it went to me.
Flip table. So I just want to say that, you know, I have actually gotten polite tells asking me if I need...
imagine that.
Not often.
Yeah, we didn't say it didn't exist, Rem.
No. Not
I was asked
often.
2 days ago when I was in LFR. Another warlock was like, hey,
does help.
Do you need that? And I'm like, no, you can totally have it. It's all yours, buddy. Take it.
But when you get somebody saying, I need that, that's fucking nice.
And I'm like, yo, I need money. So maybe you and I could have an exchange of sorts. You need a gear piece. I need money.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding because that's illegal in violation of terms of service.
Oh, yes. Oops.
How about tacos instead? Yeah.
Do you have a make tacos?
Speaking of food, Rem, I know you're super excited about the pineapple pizza.
I mean... It's good. I'll eat Hawaiian pizza. I'd rather have mushroom and pepperoni, but I'll eat Hawaiian.
Mushroom grows on poop.
Yeah, that's why it's delicious.
Mushroom is delicious, and it's also a fungus, so...
My husband hates mushrooms, so I don't... If I cook with them, I have to hide them.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to hide them. It's really hard to make beef stroganoff because mushroom is an essential ingredient in authentic beef stroganoff, so I have to, like, hide the mushrooms.
What do you do, like cream of mushroom without the
No,
mushroom?
what I do is I cook it, and then I take all the mushrooms out of his side, so he gets the flavor, and he never complains. It's only if he visually sees there's a mushroom. Dominic's the same way, my brother Dominic.
What's their issues with it? Does it...
I think it's texture.
Something? Oh, yeah, because my dad can't do mushrooms because they squeak.
Yeah, I think it's texture. But I like pineapple pizza with Canadian bacon. Fucking yum. With regular bacon, yum.
Regular bacon's better than Canadian
I
bacon.
agree. Well, I think it's good to have both, too.
Damn.
But
I know, that's what I'm saying,
I'm in the
just
group that
so.
believes pineapple belongs on pizza. And here's what I'm going to say about this argument. And I know that this argument has been like one of the most controversial things that have ever happened in the world, right? This is the one thing people can't agree on. Here's what I will say. There are a lot of sweet and savory combinations that work very well together, and this happens to be one of them. Now, I don't agree with, like, I wouldn't eat chicken pineapple together on a pizza because I think that that wouldn't taste good, but I would eat, you know, pineapple and bacon on a pizza.
Pork and pineapple.
Right, but
Al
it would.
pastor.
There would
Oh.
definitely be no chicken, and I couldn't do like a ranch or like a creamy sauce. It would have to just be your regular pizza sauce. I think some stuff just isn't like natural.
Pesto, no thanks.
But I do think pineapple is delicious, and I'm really excited that they put that in game. I was hoping to
But
see,
But they made the health thing that you get from it bad. Like if you eat it, it's a bad thing. I'm like, what the hell, man? Didn't you see the tooltip?
that's because
Pineapple
probably Blizzard is sadists, and maybe they don't like pineapple pizza.
But what about pens?
Pineapple pen? I like weird combinations anyway. Like, my favorite pizza of all time is pear and gorgonzola. It's one of my all-time favorite pizzas in the universe because the combination is just amazing. So I'm one of those people that likes, you know, when we order pizza, I like to get the whole tomato, like the sliced tomatoes and the black olives, and like I like just, you know, just various things. What's the difference in eating tomato sauce on your pizza and eating a tomato that's cooked on the pizza? There's no difference.
Just weird. I don't like black olives on pizza.
Oh, the black olives, yeah, I can see you
If
not
I
liking
see
them.
black olives, that shit's fucking out of there.
My son won't eat it either. In fact, my son won't even touch his plate, and he'll sit there very patiently and wait for one of us to take the black olives off. And Rem, you know how I parent. I'm not doing it for you. You're a big boy. I'm gonna need you to do that shit yourself. So naturally, my husband does it because
Well, sometimes Belle caves in, so
only with
because Binks is adorable. So
it's hard, man. It's hard to not love that kid. Ugh. Then they open their mouths.
shut the fuck up.
Then they turn 18.
I don't even want to. I don't know. My guys are 10 and 8 or 9 and 8.
You add that together, and
Ugh.
And then they turn 19, and they're the same as they were when they were 18. There hasn't been any growth in that entire year. And then even as we speak, they're blowing up your phone when
Okay.
they know
Anyways.
you're recording and they know you are live, and they're blowing up your phone with their drama. That is parenting, guys. So,
Serenity.
I want to know
Insanity.
what you guys think. Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no? Pineapple pizza in game? Are you in? Are you out? Tell us. Comment if you're watching on YouTube later. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, send an email, beltpwnecast.tv. But I need to know.
well, they have Warcraft food made IRL now. Maybe they should put IRL food in game.
I would love one day for Blizzard to care about me and put me in game as an NPC. And you don't even have to like put me in game. You could just make like a taco cart as the vendor and just put the taco cart and just put like Bell's Taco Cabana.
No, it'll be a kobold in a little cave, and instead of you no take candle, it's gonna say you no take taco.
Ooh, I like it. Let's submit that to somebody and see if it's not going to go anywhere. But it feels like it would be a really good idea. But they should do like Bell's Taco Cabana, I think. I agree. Ranch on pizza, especially homemade ranch. Stellar. So good. So good. Are you a ranch
What?
on pizza type of guy, Stone?
Like dipping it.
Well, I don't know. Ranch is okay. I usually go for garlic because I'm a garlic guy. More garlic when I make my pasta
Oh, the
sauce.
buttered garlic and all that.
Just garlic.
My brother
Garlic and-
Dominic puts like a whole bottle of ranch on one slice of pizza.
Oh, no, I can't go that far. That's crazy.
It's also
crazy
the
to-
same brother who told me that ranch was more healthy than sour cream.
It's like the same thing.
I love him dearly, but there's a little bit of a disconnect between truth and alternative news. Like,
Wow.
yeah, he's
You're
walking
freaking-
some type of line. Oh, God, I'm so hungry because I didn't eat dinner. Man,
We have pizza right here. I could just go grab a slice, actually.
normally on show day he goes and gets pizza, but the kids ate random stuff, so I just I stared at stuff, and I ate my mini pie yesterday on stream. Those of you who watched got to see the
Oh,
tiny
yeah, the
pie
pie.
that I ate a little pie on stream. It was just a little pie, just a little Marie Callender's pie, because that's what I do, guys. Pies, and I have chips, some type of chip in every drawer, because I have 5 drawers. So there's a chip
That's why
bag
she
with
need-
a with a clip. I have like potato chips, Doritos, both ranch and nacho. I have Cheetos. I have hot Cheetos. Like every drawer is just.
That's why she
chips.
needs such a big desk.
I know. What kind are those? Hickory sticks.
Hickory sticks, the greatest chip
Hickory.
of all kind. Of all kind. Oh my god, I'm so drunk. Of all time.
Interesting.
They are Canadian only.
I expected you to have like the all dressed or the ketchup.
Yeah, we do every once in a while, but those are my go-to. I will eat those even like up to my deathbed time. I will die on them. I don't care. I
The
love
all
them.
dressed are one of my favorites. It's your
Yeah, those
guys'
are pretty
all
good.
It's like a
dressed.
full-
We have a
full
version that you can't really get everywhere, but it's called the whole shebang.
Okay.
It's kind of similar in flavor, and it's my absolute favorite chip of all time. But I'm a chip eater. I could eat a whole bag and not even realize that the whole bag was gone. I have zero control when it comes to my chip habit. I mean, the chip, and then I go through my phases where Rem will tell you I'll eat chip
Chips
like
or crack.
I'll eat like Lay's potato chips with ranch for 2 weeks solid, and then I'll just get sick of that, and then I'll switch to like my chips and salsa for 2 weeks solid. It's pretty bad, actually.
Called the whole shebang, eh?
The whole shebang, they're delicious. They're absolutely delicious. They're just a tiny
Bring
bit
a small
sweeter than the all dressed, but the same concept where they kind of just throw all the stuff
Just-
together. Yeah, it's good. It's
Could you
good.
bring an example?
Now that I've successfully gotten everybody hungry, and we've
Luckily, I ate
derailed.
before.
So, Stone,
Yes.
what's your favorite allied race? And it doesn't have to be one that we have available now.
Wow. That's like there's no segue to it. Just
No, I feel like because everybody we've asked this, they always give the current ones, but like we know a lot more now.
I am waiting for the Iron Dwarves. I can't wait to have one. Dark Iron Dwarves. To have a molten beard.
Yeah,
oh,
flaming
God.
beard.
Come on, let's go. I'm ready.
I have a molten beard.
What? Oh my god! Wow.
That wasn't weird. I didn't.
Um,
I realized that sounded weird. It wasn't intended to be weird.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited about the Quiltarian humans.
Hmm.
And then we know Volpera are going to be a thing. I don't know that anybody. I think if we don't see the Volpera, we're going to be pretty disappointed because Wowhead has been like literally like on the street corner slinging that like corn. Like I'm not even lying. They are really, really pushing hard for the Volpera to be a thing.
Have they been? Have they said what? Like we don't know what side they're going, right? Do we think that maybe they could go both ways, like the Pandaren?
I mean, the best ones do go both ways, but I feel like because Rem and I have talked about this a few times, and he views them as similar to like the goblins, right? So I feel like they could be our goblins for Alliance side. I mean, it's a thought process, but
They'll probably be both sides because they're going to be part of the pirate factions.
so maybe
And-
like Pandarens, right, where you could choose.
Yeah, whoever has the most money probably kind of scenario.
That's interesting, actually, and I think that would be a cool concept if you could make the choice.
I mean, that could be a good thing to actually add in between all the island races is this little race that we just buy them out pretty much, or we
What-
incentivize.
I'm
this
not
little-
above a bribe. I mean,
They're doing war fronts and stuff, right? So what if in a whole region, so US, you could potentially, I'm just throwing this out there, it's gonna be complete shit, but you could potentially have Horde winning, and maybe that week if you're rolling a Volpera for the first time, they will only be Horde, and they get stuck to Horde because the Horde might be winning all the war fronts, and then it swaps back and forth. So if you really want to roll a Volpera for our side, then you have to wait till the war fronts flip over to us winning a lot more of them than the Horde. it sounds a little bit weird, but it's something I don't think that they've done, and would make it not
interesting
just
and not boring.
choice, and
Yeah.
just, hey, which one do you want to choose? I don't know. It would add gaming into it, that kind of thing, right? So
I like
I
that idea. I really, really do like that idea. I did the Tauren, but I like the idea of the allied races in general. The other day I was making the my Lightforged Paladin, me on melee, that's gonna be great. And then I was making my warrior, my Void Elf warrior. And my husband was very drunk and like walks into my office and he's like, "What are those?" And I'm like, "Those are toes. Just kidding." I'm like, "These are the allied races." This is how far disconnected from our conversations when I'm excited about something, or when he'll ask me a question about something WoW related only for conversation. He's not really interested in what I have to say about it. He's just doing the husband thing, right? Where when I'm doing a thing, he pretends to be interested. He'll be interested when the new expansion comes out because he does it every time there's a new expansion. So I know he hasn't been listening to anything I've been saying because he's like, "Well, how do you get those? Where do they come from? What do they do? What's their purpose?" And I'm like, "I've told you all of this a gajillion times, and it's unreal to me that you can remember the Cops episode you watched 2.5 years ago, but you can't remember something I'm telling you."
You do the same thing to us. Like, we're having a conversation and I say something like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, but if I'm not actively listening to you, just because I'm looking at you doesn't mean I'm listening to you.
Wow.
Fucking rude.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, sometimes in the brain, the squirrel that's turning in this little wheel that's up
just
there,
like yesterday.
sometimes the squirrel starts running in the opposite direction.
So
and-
Stone, she mentioned she's doing the Torrent thing earlier. So you did the scenario, so they're not long to do it all. It takes less than like an hour to do about like 2 or 3 of them. It took her an hour and a half to do the High Mountain scenario because she kept on squirreling. It was almost amazing. It was like an amazing feat.
First of all, I don't appreciate those accusations. I want you guys to know that I was super focused.
There's a VOD, okay? There's not an
Fuck,
accusation.
there is a VOD. I mean, you have to subscribe to see it, thank God. So, I mean, if they subscribe, they love us anyway.
That was top-notch gameplay, though.
It was pretty bad, actually. I got lost like 12 times.
Yeah, because it's phased. I tried to go out there and help her, and they're just like, nope.
I went the opposite direction of where the quest was supposed to be. I went to the wrong quest, and I didn't realize.
She went to the Exodar doing the Lights Heart.
Yeah, I was in Exodar, and I'm like, this doesn't seem right to me. This feels like I've done this before. Anyway.
That's what happens when you squirrel. I haven't done it that extreme, but I squirrel in the game quite often.
What are you looking forward to most for the new expansion? Like, for you personally?
Honestly, just progressing my character back up to 120 and seeing where the hell we're going, because with what we just went through, we just wrapped up like 20 plus years of lore. I just like that whole big plot of the big bad guy. He's been dealt with. Like, he's not dead. Like, we know that he's not dead and all that stuff, but he's dealt with for now. And it kind of tied everything up. And I was like, okay, now what? So I'm kind of like, and I know where we're going to go. At least I have, like, we can see kind of where we're going to go, but I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to really turn out, because this is going to be Christy Golden's. Now she's in charge of it, right? Like now she's in charge of the lore and where we're going to go. So she doesn't need to really rely so much on what's happened in the past. She's going to start building new. And I'm not saying she's going to like completely ditch everything that's happened. It's just I'm expecting some good stuff, right?
So on that note, I think what they're going to be doing is they're going to give her like an objective, like this is your destination. Just make the road trip there. And I mean, she's really good at writing books. Obviously, they wouldn't give her such an important role if they didn't believe in her. and she's had the past books that are amazing. But like, there's the old gods are an obvious thing that we're going to be doing and dealing with.
Yep.
But Sargeras was like the main plot, but there's also like 3 or 4 different plots on the side that we can still take care of. Like, we still haven't officially healed the Emerald Dream. We haven't dealt with Shadowlands. There's now the fact that there's other nascent world souls. So, I mean, there's a lot of places we can go. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Christy Golden's storytelling in the future for sure. Because you read the little prologue book in your BlizzCon bag, yeah, or no? There's a little clip of her book in there.
Which one of the one coming up?
Yeah.
The one coming out? Okay, then no, because I try to not read the books, and I try to only go based on what happens in game and cutscenes.
I think mine's still in the bag. I don't think I actually looked at it.
Yeah, it gives a little prologue kind of thing about like Nathanos and Sylvanas talking about stuff.
Okay. It's good. So
the story is definitely going to be on a whole other level. I mean, we're treading a lot of new water here. I think we knew a lot of what to expect this expansion from a story perspective. A lot of people called pretty much everything once we started to kind of get, fed what was going to be happening, especially with dealing with the Legion. It's nothing new, right? It's recycled, but it's the same, I think we're getting into new territory where it's going to get harder to theory craft, perhaps, because I'm hoping that things will be less obvious, right? I'd like there to be mystery, and I'd like to have to dig into some things, and it maybe not be 30 people on the forums that already know exactly how this part of this story is going to play out. I would really like it to be something where it's where it keeps you guessing all the way to the end. That would be really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to new enemies, new storytelling. So, I mean, yeah, most of the theory crafting is because we have all this information kind of already sprinkled in from the past. So you can pretty much just guesstimate where it's going to go. But if they go in a completely new path, that'll be... I wouldn't like being in the dark, honestly, because then I wouldn't know what was going on.
Are you saying you need like a nightlight, or...
Can neither confirm nor deny.
I mean, you're moving here in a couple weeks. I'm sure my niece has a nightlight you can borrow.
As long
Little
as
Miss
it's
is
like,
nice like that. She'll share with you.
As long as it's like Barbie or Ariel, I'm down.
Well, I'm anti-Barbie, so I'm hoping my brother's also anti-Barbie, because Barbie's creeping me out. But
Ken?
What? No, I don't. The Barbies in general creep me out. My girls did not have them at all.
Because they capture souls and
they
stuff
had other
like
stuff though, like there was tons of other like your typical girly toys, but I'm sure she'll hook you up with one of her. She probably has like a Doc McStuffins nightlight that you can borrow.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
Yeah. What?
I love Doc McStuffins. I learn something medical every time I watch it, just so we're clear. Like,
I probably learn more from Mr. Potato Head. So
have you ever watched it?
Why would I?
Don't worry, you'll get your fill of kids shows because she rules the roost. He's, for those who don't know, Rem is making the trek from California to the great state of the hottest fucking state in the planet. I don't know why anybody makes the conscious choice to live here. But he is going to be roommating with my brother, which is great because the two assholes in my life will be living together, right? So that's super cool. Let's put them in a room because...
We're going to become gigantic assholes.
Yeah, because together they're a team of fucks instead of just individually. But it's good for them because, Wow.
Because, yeah, I mean, I've raided with him. I've raided with you.
And then the two are going to collide.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I won't be able to hide from one because they'll both know. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fuckery.
Wow.
It really is. It's going to be good for them. I'm excited for them, as I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good for my brother, who needs somebody responsible to share the load of like bills and stuff like that. And Rem wants to be on his own, because although I love his mother, she smothers him. So it's good for him to,
Wow.
them
Just
to
throw
be.
it out there. Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, buddy.
I tell all my secrets, so that's what we
Yes.
do. But I'm excited because food, and Rem likes food as much as I like food, and that's good for me because then we could go to all the places. Like, my husband doesn't like a lot of stuff, so going and doing food stuff with him is pointless because he wouldn't eat half of it. But
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that gets sushi during lunch at work.
right. Did you want to move down here also, Stone?
No. As much as the cold is starting to bug me because I'm getting freaking old, I think your heat would kill me. Even though it's a dry heat.
Well,
No.
yes, the dry heat is better than humid heat any day of the week because nobody wants swampy balls and stuff sticking together. So those
Swamp
kinds
balls,
of things
nobody's
are
right.
definitely like a no-go, right?
So Houston, 100% no go.
Right.
Arizona, doable. Houston is the
It
armpit.
is a dry heat. There are times when it's humid, but you are right. When it's during the summer, it is miserable. And the heat, what people don't understand about the heat is the heat makes people angry. The heat will make you grumpy. And
So
when
imagine Belle, who is an already angry person, out in the heat.
I don't
Whoa.
go outside, but the times when I do, but it like when you're driving, like you're angry. Road rage is like double during summertime in
Oh,
Arizona.
I'm pretty
because-
bad when I drive. If people drive stupid, I'm vocal. Unless,
I just
I'm-
saw a timer. You want to put?
no, I'm not
You want to
going
put
in.
Stone in the asshole
No.
house?
I'm going to live up here where it's not super cold, don't get a super ton of snow, and it's humid heat in the summer, but not like higher than 35. So we're okay.
When you move, Rem, I need you to check in on Facebook and name the house the asshole house, because that's probably the best thing ever.
Yep.
Honestly, I feel like oh, that was good. That I needed that. Okay. What are you least looking forward to for BFA?
The changes that are coming inevitably to the system that could impact some of our other stuff that we work on for Iron Man and all that,
Like what stuff?
Like,
For instance, well, I mean, not a big deal, but first aid is gone, and first aid was the only profession that you could take.
well,
But-
tailoring.
Well, it's not gone. They're just absorbing it in two other professions.
So it's not clear yet whether or not you can. I would assume that you can put the first aid stuff up on the auction house, and an Iron can go buy it. So
Oh,
that's
because
not a
you
big-
can't-
It's not a big
You
deal.
can't do the recipes yourself. Is that the thing?
Oh, yeah, you can't have professions.
Correct. So you can't go do all that stuff. So now that first aid is gone. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I always worry about behind the scenes stuff that, to us nothing happens, but behind the scenes they make things better, but also break things
Right.
for us. And
Right.
I
then
mean,
we
if
have
you need band-aids anyway, then
Well, considering the new scaling stuff, Band-Aids became all of a sudden like, oh my goodness, yes, we need them. So
we
actually,
could put a focus on food because you can get pineapple pizza.
well, you
That's
can eat the
gonna help.
food, but not
Stat.
take the buff. Yeah. Do you guys know on the alpha, have they put in the squish yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually good news then, because I was actually doing a quick little test just before the show, and seeing the health on a mob was 11,000 something, and in alpha it's actually 2,900. So that's actually a good thing where the squish is actually going to help us, because right now
Because you can test out like
like, oh my goodness, it takes a long time to kill things, and it slowed iron leveling down a lot, to the point where we've had it good, and then it got really hard again, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's impossible." I mean, it's not impossible, but having the squish will be good again. So I'm happy. Yay, BFA.
So with the PvP changes that they're making to World PvP, with it having a toggle, and this means it's a conscious decision, you know, from my side of it, I'm thinking this is cool from an Iron Man if they're not interested in doing, because you have PvP specific Iron Man stuff that they can do, but I'm thinking that this is great for people who don't want to partake. They can do the things and not have to be concerned about that element if they happen to be, you know, they don't have to necessarily go to a specific server if they're, you know, maybe a PvPer that's on a PvP server. They don't have to go to a different server and whatnot.
One of the things that I think we weren't sure about, but I think Ian Hazzikostas did address, was that if they put the toggle in, there would be some kind of a bonus that you would get. They didn't know what that looked like. However, I think he said it would not be an XP boost, which I'm happy about, because
no, I'm sure it'd be honor. It wouldn't.
I mean, we've never allowed any boost like that, but you know, if you wanted, it kind of added an extra little thing. You know, if you wanted to level your iron a little bit faster, you could flip your PvP flag on, get a little bit extra XP, but however, you can get ganked at any time. So
what
it's
would be so bad
also
about
a good
this?
trade-off
Right.
then.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, so it's like a good trade-off. You know, it wasn't just like all win, so it's not that big of a deal. But it was one of the things that we were a little bit worried about at BlizzCon. At BlizzCon every year, without fail, I sit there and I listen, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my. Like, okay, we're gonna have to find. And I'm thinking in terms of the code. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to change this, I'm gonna have to change that, and I know what we're gonna have to do. And then they throw more things at us, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? Let's just relax, Stone, because take my own advice, just relax and wait till we see stuff. And then we'll adjust, because that's what we do, is that we adjust, and we always will.
And it would be if that is the case, it would be a good trade-off, because you can't at will toggle on or off. You have to be in a capital city to be able to toggle it on or off. So you have to make a beforehand conscious decision to turn it on or turn it off and whatnot, and then go out into the world and do things. But I did originally think that they were going to do like XP bonus, but I don't. That would be great while we're leveling. But once people are maxed out, there's no benefit. There's no long-term benefit to flag yourself.
Well, then you'd have multiple things, like you have increased honor gain. Well, no, because that wouldn't make any sense, because you're getting honor gain anyway. You don't get honor gain if you have.
I think you should get like a good amount of honor if you have your PvP. Like, I think
maybe
it should be
increased rep and XP.
Maybe a rep. The rep increase would be nice.
Ooh.
Maybe an additional reward for end of a quest line, maybe something like that.
Because it would have to be something besides experience, because that's only going to get you so far. Once people are maxed out, that's not going to be a thing, and nobody's going to give a shit. So, I don't think you'd have to. I don't think it's XP related.
Yeah, and I know that he hasn't come out and said this is what we will be having.
They won't do anything until the last minute when it comes to PvP, because they always save PvP to the very, very end, because the PvP community is crazy.
I'm pretty sure that one of the Q&As that they had, like not the last one, but like 2-3 months ago, was like he did say something where it would not be an XP buff. And I mean, I don't know. I think it would make things interesting.
I would kill you for some XP, but I would also kill you for a taco. I would kill you for 5 cents.
Wow.
Like, you always see the stuff on social media where it's like, would you slap your sister for $10,000? I'll do that shit for free. Like, you don't have to.
I don't even have a sister, and I'll slap someone's sister for.
I'm just saying, like, I'll do that shit for 5. We don't have to put a large amount of money. I'll do that just cause.
I mean, I'd slap Belle for a taco.
That doesn't hurt my feelings.
she'd probably shoot me for a taco. So
I'm pretty
I mean,
dead inside. I would sell you for a taco like too quick. Anybody? 12 tacos. 12? Can I get 12? Just kidding. Just kidding. I really do need tacos. I feel like that's why I've been really grumpy. I'm going to try to see if I can get my husband to go get tacos tomorrow. Honey, if you're watching, can you please get tacos tomorrow?
Get tacos.
So, I think the PvP changes potentially could make some interesting additions to different competitions that you could have, or I don't want to say that they're competitions, but what achievements or, you know.
Oh, I actually know.
What?
He's got the pacifist,
Oh my god.
the bloodthirsty, Tin Man, which is like the Iron Man, but it has a little bit more lenient. The Iron Man, bloodthirsty,
And then
and
We
there's
have a
another
new-
one. Oh, I didn't know about a
we have
new
He's
one.
such a suck up. I could Google too, Rem.
that's okay.
I actually
Wow.
didn't have it
So-
open. I've actually researched it before because I was going to do it.
Nice. That is a sign of a good co-host.
I didn't need to research. You're my friend.
So we
I was
actually
like the first friend you made when you started doing that, remember?
You were
Wow.
it's funny. You were one of the 19 people that replied back to me out of the 50 people that I spammed.
Yeah, it's like begging for change. You
So
see my
bad.
pinned tweet. My pinned tweet, it's life. Like, it's when you're asking somebody to care about something that you're doing and you're not famous, it's literally like begging for change on the street corner.
Yeah.
But that's how our
Okay. So-
friendship began, with an awkward email because you felt awkward. And I was like, this guy's doing free shit for the community, and I'm about that life. Like, I'm about people that are doing that. So,
Yeah, we definitely don't make any money off the server. That's for sure.
I have been considering trying the Iron Man thing and the in-between,
Okay.
but
Okay, hold on. Before you do that, we actually do have another one called Iron Teams. So we basically follow Iron Man
Oh.
rule as much as we can. However, you can run with a team, and you can have 2, 3, 4, or 5 people in your team.
So you're saying Rem could carry me? Because that's what I heard.
Potentially. However, you're only rated based on the lowest level character in your team. And when you group up, once you hit level 20, as soon as one person dies, the whole team is gone.
Can
And
I
you can't-
use my demons if I level a warlock?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, they're like they're not.
Yeah, anything your class
Oh.
has, sure.
Yeah, anything your class has is good. Yeah. Anything that your class has, your party can use. So if you roll a warlock, your team
Health
can
stones.
stones are okay for the whole group.
Because I don't need
So,
to be carried,
be
right? Because
hard.
I'm able, so I don't need to be carried.
It needs
However,
to be directed.
I squirrel the fact that I was able to play 5 hours of alpha last night, and I actually made pretty good progression with stuff and things. I prevented a hanging. That was exciting. But I did that solo, which is
Spoilers.
not
Yeah, that
normal.
is spoilers.
Nobody is going to know what I'm referring to. Part of the people that were watching are here, so it's going to be all right. But I do need direction because sometimes I have 3 monitors, right? So I have a monitor here and I have a monitor on each side. Sometimes I got shit going on in all the monitors, and
There's a team that's like you that has one person that squirrels a lot, and
Ironically, that it is actually a squirrel.
they have to constantly like, no John, no, over here John, what are you doing John, no, back over here, come on, let's go.
that's me.
So yeah, I mean, the more people that you have in it, the harder it will be, because you have to make sure that everybody else in your group
Yeah, because it's like herding fucking cats.
Yep. So it's not as hard as Iron when you're on your own, but it's still fun to do with your friends, which is what we want. And we want, like, the whole goal of this, and I'm going to shut up once I'm done. The whole goal of this.
Were you
is-
talking about Terwinkle?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
my buddy, I love John.
So so the whole goal of this is to get Ian to put in a feat of strength, or just at least look at our stuff. They are very aware of us. We're just, we want to go the extra step.
Yeah, they love you more than they love us. So, I mean, you're already in the club.
No.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't put in a little feat of strength. Like, hey, you leveled it up, or
I created a BRD, like a very light version of it, which is okay. Anyway, so I created a bunch of lists of what we need to do. I think it would require a lot of work from them that they may not be able to do unless they had downtime.
It's not really a lot of work.
And it's
no more work than when they had the achievement for Mythic World First.
No. Oh no, that's different. No, it's different. It's different because there's lots of ifs and ands, and there's lots of crap.
Well, they could have spent all the time they spent on Twitter integration on adding a feat of strength. So next up, Instagram and Snapchat integration.
280 characters on Twitter. Come on, man, let's go.
Yeah, I do agree with you, and I think that if we can lobby somehow, maybe we need a petition, because I hear Blizzard listens to people who sign petitions.
I heard you like petitions.
Yeah, I feel like we should petition, because that's how you get what you need in game, is you petition, because Blizzard totally gives two shits about your online petition with your 76 signatures. Fuck.
Poor Ian. Last year I tracked him down on the last day, and he was having a drink, and he saw me. He's like, "Oh no," because I knew I had to find him. Poor guy. He's like, "Oh shit."
I'm looking forward to maybe less awkwardly approaching devs. I mean, I did really good this last year, right? And I feel like that's given me the gusto to, I don't know what. Something. I'm on my guild lobbying. I've been lobbying for guild changes. That's been like, you have your, we want WoW challenges to be great, but my focus has been outside of PvP, because that's whatever. But my focus has been like on guild, fix your shit for guilds. But
what's one of the biggest things that you would want? Like, if they came to you and said, "We'll do this," what is it that you want them to do? And it's only one thing.
Well,
what's the biggest thing that you want them to do?
I want guilds to have a larger purpose that is a tangible purpose. So, for me, when I joined a guild, I had this in my brain. This is how it needs to be. Like, these are my brothers in arms. Like, to me, I had already had this mentality because I had been in other games that had armies and guilds, and I took it very seriously. I took the roles that you have, and I took that, like, you would have thought that I joined the fucking army. Like, I was in. So to me, I had this preconceived notion about what a guild should be, and what the people in the guild should mean to each other, and what the purpose should be. And it should be more than just, anonymous people behind a keyboard. There should be a connection there, and it should be about brother, sisterhood, and defending each other, killing for each other. Like, all of those things had been in my mind. So with that, I set out on my own to lay that foundation, because I wanted that. And I couldn't find it in another guild, so I created that as a means to try to find it, right? But a lot of people don't take that seriously, or to them, a guild is just a place for them to just join and be social, especially with the newer generation of World of Warcraft players. This newer generation doesn't really know what it's like to band together for solidarity, for a common purpose in game, or... They don't have any fucking loyalty, really, if I'm going to be really honest here, without trying to be PC. They, on a whim, go to a different server because it suits their needs, versus because they just enjoy being a part of your family and whatnot. That's not me throwing shade. That's just the reality. There's no loyalty.
It might have been both.
But there's no loyalty there for a good portion of the players. So for me, the one thing that I want Blizzard to do, it doesn't have to be guild housing. It doesn't have to be give guilds money every time somebody completes a quest. It doesn't have to be anything that is a physical give me something. What I want is for them to find a way to keep being in a guild relevant because you gave us Group Finder. You don't really need a guild for that anymore. You don't need a guild to pug raids because you can just go to Group Finder and pug that. You removed all the things that helped us recruit people, because the hard part as a guild recruiter is getting them in the door and deciding if you're a right match. And you can't get them in the door if they're just not interested, because there's nothing you have to offer if they're not like me, where they want that social, or they want that where they know people. People don't know the value of that connection that you have with other people. So I need Blizzard to figure out another way to make guilds relevant and needed. Maybe it could be you unlock certain achievements if you do things as a guild outside of the raid stuff, right? Because they give you, money when you do random runs, and that's cool. But like, I want them to take guilds seriously and not force people into guilds, but people might find that they really like it. They might meet their best friends in the guild, and it could be like some fucking Plenty of Fish shit. Maybe people get married from the guild because people do that, but those are the exceptions now. And I know that a lot of people are probably listening and watching going, well, that's how I feel. Yes, that is how we feel, because if you're watching, you probably feel pretty similar. If you're listening, you probably feel pretty similar, because we've connected somehow on the show when it comes to that. But the newer generation of players doesn't give a shit. They're PvPers, the large PvP communities. These guys aren't really in guilds. They are on to do shit for their stream, but it's not part of that connection. I feel like it's just one of those things where they don't take it seriously, and I just need them to, whatever that means, for them to find ways to introduce people. They're so big into introducing people to PvP, right? They're introducing people to PvE. They're so interested in bringing people into different elements. Why are they consistently ignoring the importance of guilds?
Honestly, guilds should be a big pillar of the content being...
100% agree. Because I can tell you that off the top of my head, I can list you 30 people that are still subbed because of the guild. So they go hand in hand. You want to keep people in your game, keep people connected, because that's really what it's about. The people that unsub are the people that don't really hang out with people in guild. They're the people that are okay with taking those breaks because they're not missing anything. They're not missing anything. They're okay with that.
Yeah, most of my hiatuses were because either a guild fell apart, or we stopped raiding, and there was nothing else to do in that guild. So
guilds should be... I have a guildie who is not currently subbed. He hasn't been subbed for a year. This guildie has been my guildie since probably the first couple of months this guild was in creation, so that's almost 5 years. I'm not friends with him on Facebook, but he's in our Facebook group. I've been through a lot with this guildie, with his personal life. And this last year, I even said something to Rem a couple months ago where I hadn't heard from him, and it was unlike him. Normally he would shoot me a message on Facebook and say, hey, it's one of the good parts of life, I'm okay. Or, hey, it's shit right now and I'm struggling, but I'm okay. So I hadn't heard from him, and I started to kind of like, man, it's unlike him. Even though he's not subbed right now, it's unlike him to not tell me. He reached out to me and let me know that, for the last year, he's reached a lot of his goals, and a lot of that had to do with sobriety, and I'm so proud. Like, I told him, because he needs a new computer, so I told him if he gets a computer, I'll buy him BFA and a month sub. But it's things like that I think Blizzard doesn't understand. Like, he's trying to save up for his computer. I'm going to get him BFA. I'm going to pay for a month of his sub. There's your money. Connection, because that's really where it's at. It's about connections. And I think that they forget that that's the purpose. I went on a huge rant, and I apologize, guys.
A little bit. It's all good.
Well, as you were talking, I was thinking, sometimes I feel like it's easy for a guild to get lost, and they do have like the guild finder, but really it's just a big massive list, and they never get trimmed, right? It's these guilds that are dead too, that have been in there for years and years, and You know what?
They give you like 140 characters for you to describe what you're looking for in a guildie. I can't even describe 140 characters on how I want my fucking steak cooked. So like, guilds are matchmaking. It's a marriage, right?
And
like,
as I say, it's easy. Medium. Hello.
How do you court in your marriage if you only have set amount of characters to like? It's like speed dating almost. The guild recruitment thing is like speed dating.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck.
Shit doesn't work, by the way.
Well, I kind of liked when they had guild perks where, you know, you get the plus 5% XP. You're at guild level 2, and then when you're at guild level 5, you got another 5% or something, you know. And I understand why they took some of them away. But
what was the reason they took it away? They didn't want people to feel like they had to be.
No,
in a
that's
guild.
not the reason they took it away
should.
at all.
That was one of the reasons.
That
though.
isn't the reason they took it away at all.
That was
I
one
know
of
the
them.
reason they took it away, and it was a valid reason. They just should have done something to fix it instead of taking it away. So the problem is, people were creating guilds, and they were just spam inviting people so that they could fill their coffers and fill the bank, and then they would mass boot everybody out of their guild. So the reality is, the reason that they've never lifted the guild cap, which makes sense, and the reason that they started taking that stuff away is because it was being used as a means to farm gold and then remove everybody. I was a victim of that. I was kicked out of a guild, and I hadn't been in there that long, but that is 99% of the reason is because they were using guilds as a means to farm gold. That's all it was. Farming gold. So they didn't fix it. They just removed it. They were like, oh, we're going to take this stuff away to make it less enticing for you to be in a guild. But we give exclusivity to PvPers, right? There's things that only PvPers can have if they PvP. We give exclusivity to raiders. We give exclusivity per difficulty for raiders. Normal doesn't always get the same rewards as heroic. Like maybe they'll be... Isn't there... The mount is only heroic, right, Rem?
The mount for the quest is heroic, and then there's only a mythic mount off the last boss as well.
We give exclusivity to all the other elements. Pet battlers have exclusivity. If you're a fisher, there's certain things that you can get for fishing. We give exclusivity to all those other activities, but yet we didn't maintain that exclusivity for the guild. We didn't fix the problem with people that were doing that with the guild. Instead, we lowered the money, which is great because people like us, we're smart. We do raffles to, you know, keep the guild going with the bank for the repairs and stuff. But they didn't fix the issue. They just...
Yeah.
They removed it trying to fix another issue and just made another issue. So it's pretty much just shot themselves in the foot.
I don't think it's going to be like an easy fix. I think this is something... I don't even know what I would do.
I gave him a list of 10 things.
She really did.
I gave him a list of 10 solid, while it might not be practical, maybe for, you know, their whatever the level of effort, right? This fucking project management word, level of effort, haunts me every day. But I gave him great, solid things that you could do as a guild where you could get rewards that don't have to be so amazing that everybody gets pissed off they have to be in a guild to get, but they should be good rewards. I gave him profession bonuses if you do, like, if you're at your guild hall. Here's profession bonuses if you do stuff in your guild hall and you do your professions and your crafting in your guild hall. Have a guild board where there's missions and you guys have to do that as a team. You don't necessarily have to all be online, but you have to earn the followers in the hall as a group effort. When so-and-so's online, they put in, and then so on and so forth. Like, I gave him like 10 really great things to help push. You know, here's some stuff. Here's just some ideas if you're struggling to make it, you know. I also asked for teleportation to my guildies as a guild master.
Oh, man.
Well, I just thought, like, you know how many times a guildie needs something and they're on the opposite side of the map?
Sure. Okay.
I would love to be able to just teleport and pew-pew some shit for them, and then... That was unrealistic, and I know that.
I really miss have group. That was so good, like the mass summon.
Yeah, the mass summon was a little OP. They actually made the farming the world bosses, not world bosses, like the world PvP, for the destroying the enemy faction leaders. It made it stupid easy.
But on the ending of the guild note, the one thing that Blizzard could do to make a step in that direction is guild ladders. Could be for tons of things. They could have just where it's, you know, I mean, Warcraft Realms, like, they already track pretty much all of that. But Warcraft Realms is great, but it's not World of Warcraft. It's not Blizzard's website. Yeah. If you put a ladder on something, people get serious real quick because ladders make people feel important, right?
Shit. The Warcraft pet battles, they get super serious about that ladder.
But I did tell him, like, you could do guild ladders. You could have guild challenges where it's basically like war games, but it's guild versus guild, and you rank up in ladder. Maybe, you know, whatever this week is, you get a special fucking whisker do. I don't know, but I think ladders would be a good.
I prefer lucky doos.
A whisker do.
Well, you know, whisker do, whisker don't.
But yeah, guild versus guild would be amazing because I personally like realm versus realm for some of the older games, like the PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So it also puts that and like solidifies the group. So I mean, I'm down.
Yeah, but yeah, that's and really, Callie, just to address, you don't have to mesh with other people on an all the time level to take advantage of moments when you need people. That's kind of the good thing about being in a guild is you don't have to always want to be social, or, you know, it doesn't always have to be like, let's all get together and fucking hold hands around the porta potty. Like, we don't have to do those things.
Yeah.
But it's a nice thing when you have it to have it. Hey, I need a thing. Do you guys mind helping? Cool. Thing done. There's times when I log in and I don't necessarily want to be social for no other reason other than I'm grumpy. And I don't want to be grumpy at other people, but you don't have to feel obligated if you're in a guild to speak all the time. You don't have to feel like...
For instance, I was in a guild for over almost 3 years, and I only spoke to the same 3 people, but those 3 people kept me in that guild for forever. Now I'm in a better guild. Let's see how...
Don't try to suck up. But yes, that is what I would like to see. The guild thing is like a big... I'm probably as passionate about the guild thing.
Did.
What?
What?
What did you say?
Nothing.
I'm probably as passionate about the guild thing as
Stone.
Hold
on. I have a character in Riders, and the only reason why my main character is not in Riders is because I'm not raiding.
Oh, yeah, we found out last week. We found out. Live on the air.
What?
Live on the air, Dave was like, and Stone, and I'm like, that son of a bitch. And he goes, what? I go, that's weird that Stone's in your guild because he was in my guild. And Dave's face was like, oh, shit. And I'm like, I'm just kidding. I knew he was there, and I know why he left, and that's fine. It doesn't bother me. But Dave's face was so hilarious. And then after show, he was like, I really hope I didn't cause it. And I'm like, no, I was totally kidding. Like, I knew Stone left.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny how it went was that everybody in your guild is good and I like them. But when you had them meshed together for the raid, you know how we had the 2 raids, right? And then when we put it all together into one big raid group, it's like, oh man.
The beautiful news is we rebuilt from the ground up.
Okay, good. But that's
sure everyone
I haven't taken out another character because I wanted to keep a character in there because I like the people in there because it is a good guild.
There's been a lot of change. We should probably talk about that off air. But good things though. It's been
okay.
It's good thing. We don't have 2 guilds anymore.
What? Oh, is that why you kicked me out of 2?
I did. Well, I sent you a mail.
Oh no, I'm back into 1.
Yeah, I sent a mail.
Yeah, he logs on drunk and yeah.
I hand mailed everybody I booted out of the 2nd guild to let them know to come over. Yeah, there's been a lot of change the last.
Okay.
Good things though. Really, I'm actually super excited. But yeah, let's take this offline for sure.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Rem, I find it a little sad that you're going to talk about Volume 3 because I still haven't purchased Volume 2. Fuck.
So all I want to do is make sure people are
Does anybody
aware.
want to buy me Volume
Okay.
2 and 3? Because I have not purchased either yet. Rem, get me up to speed. What did I miss in 2, though?
They have, huh?
What did I miss in 2?
A lot.
Spoilers.
Well,
I've got to still shrink wrapped.
So Volume 1 is a lot like the old stuff, like War of the Ancients, stuff like that. Volume 2 is old time Draenor when the orcs are meeting the Draenei, and the first
Not alternate timeline, Draenor.
not pre everything that happened on Outlands and AU
Got it.
Draenor. So it is at the time of AU Draenor, without all the timey-wimey stuff. And so, no, I said it has good pictures. Okay. Anyways, Volume 3, in case you're not aware, it's going to be bringing the story up to the current times. And so it's going to be talking about a lot of the RTS games, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3. So it's talking about like the first wars, second war, and the third war with the Horde, with the the Scourge, the bringing of Arthas into becoming the Lich King. So it's solidifying all that information with pretty pictures. The pictures alone are worth it. If I could get a blow up of some of the pictures on a poster,
Doll?
I would.
Oh, pictures. Got it.
Son of a bitch.
They got
I would-
robots now. I got you, fam. On
I
a
would
payment
pay-
plan, even.
I just want to make sure that people were aware of what it was and that it's coming up soon. So the pre-order you can do now. It ships like March 27th if you pre-ordered it. I already have mine pre-ordered through Amazon, and it's going to be good stuff. I just want to make sure that people were aware and get them excited because the story is going to be amazing and it's going to bring it to current. So like after this, I don't know what their next step is. I don't know if this is going to be these 3 volumes or if they're going to catch these up in tandem with the game, or what's going on with that. Like, because you have Christy Golden's books is going to run in tandem with those.
I
But
feel
I
like
just wanna
it's
make
going to
sure-
be like Wrong Turn. You know how they made like 7 of those movies?
No.
What?
I just found
The
that
hell
out today
Wrong
that there's
Turn?
like 7 of those movies. The first one wasn't even that great. How the fuck did you manage to pull out like 6 movies out of one shitty
What's Wrong
storyline?
Turn?
Not relevant, but kind of the same. Like, my worry is how far are they willing to stretch the story into additional volumes?
Is
So
this
we
like
would
a
have to get new
Sharknado?
story, right?
Wrong term, slippery when wet. Is it kind of one like?
Oh
one of
my.
But I'm thinking like they can't really stretch things out too far, so we would have to be getting new story, right?
Well, the thing about Chronicles, it's all the past story. It's not really making new stories.
I thought they said that the third one was going to be it, and that's it. They're done. Because I thought in the preamble for it, they said this is the final.
Countdown?
It's the final countdown. The final edition for the series.
I mean, that would make sense because this is a chronicle of all the history. So, and it's bringing it up to speed. So, I mean, maybe this could be the only one / cry. If that's the case, completely not off topic, but off game. If they were to do this for StarCraft, I'd buy those as well.
Oh my goodness gracious, yes. Yep.
$1 million idea, Blizzard. You're welcome.
I'm not gonna lie, I had to text message my husband and beg him to turn on the fan because my fake wall, the fan switch is on the other side and I'm literally sweating bullets. I don't know if anybody can see the weird.
Nope.
It is hot as fuck in this tiny room.
Tiny room for a tiny person. Makes sense.
Well, my desk takes up the whole room. Like, I can't even have, like, guests or, like...
You have no room for activities.
The cats hang out just fine, though. The cats just chill and do stuff, you know? So, I'd like to see new story.
Well, Christy Golden is getting right on that.
But I mean from the... Because,
Like
I
Warcraft
guess the
Chronicles?
word Chronicles implies, like, the history, right? I guess that...
Yeah. I mean, it's Chronicle.
But there was like the Chronicles of Narnia, and that was current.
Yes and no.
The Chronicles
It's a chronicle
of Riddick,
of their
that was
adventure.
current.
Really, Chronicles of
I got a ton of
Riddick.
Chronicles in this memory bank. I probably forgot some for Eminem lyrics, but I mean,
But again, that's the Chronicles of his adventures. We're seeing it past.
well, now Christy
Recording.
Golden's role with Blizzard is, I know obviously she still writes her books, but she's writing story for Blizzard, isn't she?
Yeah, no, she is 100% on their payroll now to write stories.
So on the Amazon.com website, it does say that this is book 3 of 3 in the.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that this is going to be it.
Okay, well,
I figured they could probably squeeze some more money out of there somewhere.
yeah.
You know what would be great is a massive book with maps.
Yes, I love maps.
Yeah, 'cause I am a map guy. I love maps. Fake maps, like fake world maps. I don't care. Real maps. I don't know, man.
Yeah, they could do.
Like
They could
the map
have.
of Middle Earth. That's a map I like.
Yeah, they could do that. They could have the map of Azeroth, and then each page would have specific zone, in detail kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
I could get behind that.
Do it.
Do it.
Mind your business, Ewok.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually have a There's a company that has a desk mat of Azeroth.
Oh,
that
didn't you buy that?
I'm tempted to.
I'm concerned about quality.
That was why, because I have the Corsair one, so obviously you're getting good quality there.
I got the same one.
Because I got it.
I got tired of the bottom of my mouse always being dirty for my desk, so I was like, fuck, I'm just going to have to actually own a mouse pad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like not having a mouse pad under there, I feel like a mouse pad slows my responsiveness down, but...
I feel like not having a mouse pad slows your responsiveness.
Well...
Wow.
Right.
I think he's done.
It gets really dusty underneath the mouse and makes me crazy, so I was like, I'll just get a mouse pad. Okay. Legion 7 season, Legion 7 season, Legion PvP season 7, whatever, is well underway. Seething Shore has been added into the rated Battlegrounds queue, which is cool.
What?
Mm-hmm. Which
Do
is
they
cool.
change any tweaks to it or no?
Do they need to?
Maybe.
It doesn't, I mean, they didn't mention anything about anything changing. They just threw it in the rotation. I mean, what's the difference between rated and...
Well, I mean, just because the locations are random and sometimes they spawn on the same spot that it was previously.
But the map is 10v10, so...
Well, I'm aware of that.
There isn't like, I mean, if it's fine for randoms, it should be more than fine for rated. I could see if it was like...
Randoms are a different beast.
Well, you are absolutely right, but I feel like because it's the same amount of player versus player, they don't need to scale anything. But that's going to be fun. That's fun especially for RPG teams that get to go in and figure out new strategies and something visually different to look at. If you have Legion 6 stuff coming for the rewards, try to avoid transferring your character to another realm.
Oh, dang. I was really hoping to get my Gladiator.
Like, they tell you until after the season ends, but in my opinion, I don't think you should do it till you get the rewards, because I've seen way too many posts on the forums where stuff just, like, gets sent to not...
Get my stuff.
Yeah, it just gets way too complicated for them. They can't multitask, so I would just avoid doing that. The mounts and the titles are, like, 2 weeks after the season ends, so the season ended last week, right?
I don't know.
Yesterday. Not yesterday, but this week.
It was this week. So try to avoid making any changes to your realm. especially if you're faction changing, because that whole faction change thing in between rewards is really, really, really complicated. I seen one guy who it took him like 4 months to get his rewards because he server hopped and faction changed, and it was like a hot mess. So there's that. Rem,
Yes.
what mount are we going to do this week that you're going to get and you're not going to help me get? Reigns of the Long Forgotten Hippogriff.
Well, that's not the mount, but
No, but that's the mount that we helped you get and you didn't help us get it.
because you haven't tried to get it yet.
He said, like, we let him get it first because that way he could talk about it on the show. So we all helped farm those little fucking crystals like a bunch of meth heads running around Azeroth. And
Well, Azuna.
First off, I found 3 of the 5. Second off, you
needed
haven't
10,
asked me.
Yes?
You need 5.
5?
Oh, you need. Yeah,
You didn't
5.
find 3 because I know I found 1.
Exactly. And then Heather found 1.
So we get him his mount. And it's like 4 months later.
Oh.
And we don't have the mount.
You want to know why? Because again, you've never said, "Hey, let's go do this weekend," or "Let's plan to do this sometime soon." I'm not going to be like, "Oh, hey, let's go do this."
A good friend would.
Hello.
I made the active effort to remind you to get it before the show.
Actually, no, because I planned on doing it that weekend. See, you're turning this shit around, Ike. God.
That's what abusers do. Hello? Just kidding. See what I have to put up with, Stone?
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is she mentioned
Yeah.
it last week. I was like, "Oh, hey, do you want to do it this weekend?" It's like, "No, I don't know."
Because he picks like the worst times. The weekend, I want to just like do mindless things that don't involve decision making or like
we can
taking
Netflix,
a shower. I just want to like do
can sit there
nothing
you
and
can sit there Netflix and look for the
sit on
crystal.
my iPad until the evening and then play on Bertha until 3 a.m. Like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to,
None of that sounds productive at all.
I know. I got the iPad and I'm like, woohoo, this is going to help me so much at work. And then like 4 hours later on fucking Sim City and other games that I play on the iPad, it was not.
PUBG Mobile.
No, God.
Oh,
My
hey,
son
let's
has
build that
that.
up.
My son has that on his tablet, but I'm not. I can't.
You want to play PUBG with me, Stone?
Mm-mm.
Real PUBG, like on the PC.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, I'll add you on Steam.
I don't want to do any of that or talk about it on a World of Warcraft podcast. But
Oh man.
so let's talk about the mounts, which this is actually a mount that I really want, so I'm happy that you're talking about it.
Oh, we're actually gonna talk about it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm continuing my little deal about hippogriffs because it's like some of the best mounts in the game. This one is not a weekend getter. It is a routine dailies for like a long ass time. So if you didn't play during Wrath, there is a place called the Argent Tournament Grounds. It's in Ice Crown, up in the corner, and the 2 mounts I'm referencing is the Argent Hippogriff and the Silver Covenant Hippogriff. There are some, I haven't gotten them yet, but they're some of my favorite mounts because they're all majestic and white and stuff like that. But so they're both 150 champion seals. You have to farm through, I believe it's the aspirant seals, and then you have to become a champion of each faction in the Alliance of the Horde. And so it's, like I said, it is not a weekend thing. It's, you're going to have either a commit or just routinely do it every now and then. But it's, you have to begin to do the dailies where you have to defeat the other champions, run and do errands pretty much around Ice Crown. So, I mean, it's nothing that's going to be hard. It's just more tedious, but it's worth it. They have a bunch of other awards as well. I'm about halfway through getting them all.
I
So-
started on the journey and I got lost and one of the quests bugged out, but the Argent Hippogriff I always choose in alpha or beta. Like I always choose, because you get that mount, I always choose that, just because I don't have it normally. But I wish I had the brain power to.
Yeah, don't stop believing.
I mean, I did the angler, to get the.
The
Bishop
Water Strider? Oh, the Water Strider you have to have. If you don't have the Water Strider,
Oh my goodness.
But I just
I'll
feel
watch-
like if I could do that, maybe I could do the Argent stuff. But
100%.
it's
you have
it
to
is
get them
it's
in
a
the
little
pocket-
complicated,
pocket
guys. If
first.
you're not.
Just the only thing I don't really like about that whole stuff up there is just the jousting. It just drove me nuts. And
It's easy. You just throw it and then charge it and then.
yeah, I mean, like I know how to do it. It's just, and anyways, it was I didn't collect mounts back then, and I wish I did, because when I had to collect mounts and do all those things over and over and over again, I just about wanted to die.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's done, and I am never going back there again. Ever. Ever. I have my pets, I have my mounts, done. I don't care, done. I'm not going back there. It's finished.
I get a
That's how you
random.
really feel.
I get a random fancy to farm a thing. Like 1 month it might be trying to get time loss, or I mean, I spent 6 months of my life on time lost, and I'll never get that back. But occasionally I do find a focus. But
That's why it's called the Time Lost.
I know there's people that every week they have a whole spreadsheet of stuff that they farm, and that just I never.
That's too,
That's me.
what's the word? That's too coordinated.
It's
Too
smart, right? Because
organized.
I forget where stuff is, and like it's smart to do that. But I don't. I get really upset when I don't get stuff. So, yeah.
I have a list of easy stuff and then a list of things that I can do if I really want to and kill time. But I have a good list of about and paths as well that I need to go on to farm certain things. So
I really
yeah.
want the Drake of the North.
No.
Is it the North?
Which one is that?
You got to go in and kill like the third boss, the second boss. You could keep
Oh.
resetting it.
Four Thrones or in the dungeon.
Are you
Okay.
talking about the blue proto Drake?
No, the Drake of the North Wind, or whatever it's called. It's not a
Yeah.
proto. It's like a. It looks kind of like a newer version, an older version of the Time Reaver, but not as cool. But same skeletal model.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, there's like 4 versions of it. Yeah, there's the East Wind,
But
South
it's the
Wind.
easy one where you just have to kill one of the drakes in there, and it's like the second or third boss, so you don't have to go all the way through the whole thing. You just have to get to like the second boss. Then you can walk out and reset it until you do.
Oh,
like,
the one with the end boss is Akir or whatever. Yeah.
But it's only like it's like the second boss in, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Most of those are like.
Wrong of the Four Winds is a different one.
Yeah, it's like the Drake of the.
No, it's one of the Drake of the South Wind or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
But
Yeah, there's
the
one
only
in the
Drake I
raid.
really like
and-
is the proto Drake models.
That's why it seemed that you wanted the blue proto Drake, because that's technically the Drake of the North. Because it's blue.
The blue
It's
proto.
north.
How do you get that one? I feel like I have it.
Utgard
Or
Pentacle?
yep, or you can also get it as a drop on Malagos. Because when I got mine, I got both the blue and the azure on
Those are
Malagos.
different Drakes.
Well, those are just Drakes.
I know.
Yeah, those I
Oh.
like those kind of, but to me they look like a cross between a sea turtle and an eagle. I don't really like those Drake models. They look really weird. They don't look dragon to me.
Yeah, those are the proto Drake ones that share the same model as the Time Lost. It's not very pretty, but
Well, interesting, and I'm going to change your life when it comes to how you view proto Drakes. So the next time you're in Storm Peaks, or the next time, because in Storm Peaks, right around Boar's Breath, it's where people farm Skull, the wolf, the hunters farm. One of his major spawn spots is right by Engine of the Makers. I haven't spent a long time on. I don't spend a lot of time on there to know all
You know
these
more
things.
about this little zone than you do the whole fucking map. That's scary.
Well, there's this there's like the Brood the brood mother, she's at the very top of the mountain. It's sometimes where I like to farm. Time loss, I just kind of camp out there. But there's these blue versions of these protodrakes. And it's the blue versions that I found that have made it easy for me to make my case. So if you're looking at a protodrake, I don't know if anybody's notices this, but the protodrake skeleton is actually inverted. It's like upside down. So the next time you have the opportunity to look at a blue protodrake, just look and you will see that it's actually upside down.
Okay, now I want to open the game and go play and go get on my
Well,
drinks.
and even if somebody could find, like, you might even be able to see a picture and look, but you really need to see it. So I want you guys to go to Storm Peaks, go to Boar's Breath, right on the side of the mountain where Skull typically spawns. It's right by the Engine of the Makers, which is the big hole in between on your way to, like, what's that campsite? Is that Nessingwary? No.
You're scaring me a little bit.
The one where the horde thing crashed?
Yeah, and there's like a village right below. Yeah. But you'll see, because all those blue drakes, they randomly go down and pick up the animals, which is kind of fucked up when you think about it, because they're just like flying with animals in their mouths. But just go stand there and watch. You will see that their bodies are completely flipped over. So whoever designed them was actually really smart, because they got that effect of it looking like a pretty cool dragon by just flipping it upside down. Like, you'll notice the head should be flipped the other side. The only way you can tell really is with the blue ones, because the color just, I've tried to point it out to other people and they were like, you're high. But then when I showed them the blue one, they're like, okay, I can totally see what you're saying. But yeah, I need you guys to check that out.
Wait, so why does that make you like them more?
Huh?
I guess I missed the point where this is why you like them more. Because they're upside down?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's not why I like them more. But I do like them because they're upside down, but I like it because it's different.
Oh, I just like them because they're better. So.
Well, they're bigger, they're kind of a little bit more badass, and, you know,
and
like,
in terms of the dragons, are the OG ones.
Yeah. But just check it out. Go to Storm Peaks. If you have problems locating it, just at me at Twitter. But seriously, I want you guys to tweet a picture, a screenshot of you at these blue drakes, and I want you guys to tell me if you see what I see with them being inverted. That's my challenge to everybody. And if you're listening to this on iTunes or watching on YouTube, go, even if you don't have a current sub, just go to the internets. And
I'm so surprised you know these different locations in Storm Peaks. Like, you don't know the locations of anything else on any other zone.
So Northrend is my favorite, like...
Well, I know Storm Peaks is your favorite, but I'm still like...
Oh, I spent a lot of time there. I spent so much time there, guildies would come and like, bring me refreshments. They would, like, trade me, like, random moon juice, melon juice, or some shit, because I would just be hanging out. And I would have a guildie that would come and summon a mailbox for me if I had to send something to another guildie, because I didn't want to leave my one of 3 farm spots. I mean, I spent a lot of time there, but the music in Storm Peaks is my favorite in all of the game. Of all of the music in all of the maps, Storm Peaks is my absolute favorite. Now, Stormheim mimics that a little bit, which is why I like the music in Stormheim, because it's pretty similar and like that flute. I don't know what instrument is it?
I don't know.
Piccolo.
It feels like it could be bagpipes, but that's not what it is. But do you get what I'm saying? Like the...
Yeah.
It's like the flute, but the little recorder.
Right, and it's like, it's very soothing. I actually really like it. But yeah, Storm Peaks' music is my absolute...
Well, that's because it's, like, Gaulish related because of...
And I also really loved Northrend. I really loved Grizzly Hills. I loved the Furblogs. I loved the giant tree and their little houses. Like, I absolutely loved Grizzly Hills.
Oh, Aldrossel, and it's...
Hey, those of you... I don't know if you know, but if you go to Grizzly Hills, you could actually take a water ride. And the water, you could hop in a little boat, and the water, it'll take you all the way down on a little boat. You and your friends can go.
I heard there was a mustache ride as well, somewhere in there.
Wow. There is. One night we all got drunk and we just went and fucking rode on boats for like 2 hours for no apparent reason. But if you haven't been there, check it out. Anyway.
Okay, I got one question for you. Where did you get your TLPD from? Which spawn point was it that it actually spawned at?
No, I didn't get him.
Oh, you didn't get it?
No.
Oh, I thought you got it. Okay, never mind.
Fries is actually the reason I didn't get him.
Oh no.
So for our server, the majority of the time it was between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. server time. That's the majority of the time for Argent Dawn. I don't know what it's like on other ones, but I've done a lot of like, I don't math, but I tell you what, when I'm stalking some shit, all of the sudden, all of these things, I'm able to just, okay, this, and this, and this. While nobody really knows, and a lot of it's guesstimation, the majority of the things that were reported when it came to people seeing him doesn't necessarily mean, you know, could have been spawned for a few hours, but the times that people seen was between 3 and 7 on our server. Okay. So I have been farming this shit for months. Fries says, hey, let's go run a couple battlegrounds. And I'm like, I can't. Like, it's going to be any time. I killed Vigrosa like 3 times. I killed Durkee like twice. And I've killed Skull a few times and pissed some hunters off. So I know that they're all connected, right? So it's going to happen. He's like, just one. Just do one. Fuck it. So I queue. We get back. My NPC scan goes off. I'm panicking. And I'm looking around and I get right around the corner to where that camp is we talked about, where the little goblins are, and then there's like a town to the left. And this fucking dead body's right there.
Wow.
I start screaming. We're on Skype and I'm screaming. And my husband's like, what is wrong? And I am cussing him out. I called him everything but his name. So then for like a month, he's like, hey, no. And you figure, what's a BG? Like 20 minutes?
Yep.
35 if Alliance is really trying to pull a win out of fucking 1,400 points towards 200. Like, that's... So, yeah. But Boar's Breath, in my opinion, has always been that little path in between. Because Vigrosa, the main spawn point for Vigrosa, even though there's like several of them, is always... It's down at the bottom in between where the Harpies are. So in my professional opinion, there's a spot right on top of Boar's Breath where you get 4 of the routes that he could potentially take, because he goes over Engine of the Makers, he goes over that little village, but that's like the best spot for you to be able to see the majority of the crossover points in the route that he takes. Now, nobody knows where he spawns, but I've always believed that he spawns at the very, very top all the way by the raid on the across. I believe he just spawns like out of the sky.
He spawns closer to the mountain, closer to the dwarf town.
Mm-hmm.
Over there, and then there's another one near the end of the waterfall, and then the other one, and then the other one where the Viking girl village is, and then the one that I got him on was the Old Duar spawn point, which is not the raid, but kind of
it's catty corner across.
Yeah,
that's where I've always believed is his main spawn point.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that anybody's actually ever seen him spawn.
I'm so sorry. Well, I have.
Like, you've seen him just appear?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 There was a website called Time Lost Hunter or something like that, and this dude had everything up there. Like, everything up there. And he was helping people get their things with all of the info.
I feel like that's going to be my next obsession.
Well, it's harder now because now that you have connected realms, not connected realms, cross realm zoning, you have many realms and many people to compete against. Honestly, if you're going to go in hardcore, get 4 accounts, put 1 on each of the spawn points, and wait. And minimize, not minimize WoW, but resize WoW so it runs in a...
Does everybody in the party get Time Lost? Just 1?
It's just one.
I'm gonna need some friends to sacrifice.
I'm busy. Because
Oh,
I don't have it either, so I'd probably.
it was so bad that I had
I'm so
speakers.
sorry.
I had speakers
God.
and I had NPC scan turned all the way up. And I would come up here every so often and move her around. Or during the day when I was at work, I'd be on my work laptop and I would have it NPC scan just chilling. Not for any other reason other than I was trying to gather data on times when Vigrosa would spawn because it tells you. Like I was trying to gather all of that stuff. It was really bad for a really long time. I feel like it's time to resurrect that though.
I'm so sorry. Like if that was me, I would have lost my shit too, for sure. Because what the hell?
We're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Good lord.
I want to have it before BFA. Do you guys think I can do it?
I guess I know what I'm doing.
Called time lost for a reason.
I'm putting it on my list. It's on my list. It's going.
Great.
Wow.
I can't believe you got it.
Well, now I'm looking for.
I guess he's more diligent than you are.
Nah, I was hunting it for 4 months when I got it, but also
That's
I had
nuts.
4 accounts.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just stationary, but then I would do laps every so.
Yeah, see, if you do that, you might lose it because other people will go camp, and by the time you're running routes, it's already spawned and somebody's already picked it off, and you're done. So.
Mhm. I've seen it dead plenty of times. Like they were
Yep.
killing it as they rolled up, but
I've only seen the one dead body, and that was the day I died inside. I'd never seen like his corpse before. Or, she, right? She's a girl. Time Lost is a girl, right?
Sure.
I believe it is.
I always
yes.
felt like it was a female for some reason.
how dare you assume it's gender?
I did assume it's gender, but it just like I don't know, the mysterious, they call it time loss because you fucking lose your mind. And nobody really knows the spawn. Like nobody really knows, is it a 6-hour spawn? It could be a week spawn. Like nobody, they have data for that, but do they really? I had this theory that it was a GM spawn. For a long time I had this theory, but it's not. But I really did feel like it was a GM spawn.
No.
I thought that there was like, it was this one guy's job to like see somebody randomly and spawn, but that's
Lord.
not realistic.
It was. They look AFK. Let's spawn it.
I know. I'm not that bright, guys. Well, now you've reminded me of my obsession.
Do you have the Aeonax?
Oh no, that was the one for what's its nuts?
Cataclysm? Deep
Cataclysm, Deep Home. I was thinking
So-
Stone
Oh,
Core.
no, we,
Yeah.
my husband was
I'm
obsessed with
trying
that
to
one for
farm
quite
that
some
damn
time.
Yeah.
And
It's-
we farmed, but no luck.
I spent about a month farming that one. I never got it though.
My husband was real obsessed, and I don't remember why. He like saw somebody on the mount, and he became
pretty.
obsessed. Yeah.
It is a prettier mount, 100%. But there's like 6 spawn points, and I'm down to 1 account, so I'm not buying 5 other accounts just to camp these spawn points.
The
No.
only crappy part about these mounts that I become obsessed with is I always go back to my warlock mount.
Yeah. I just do it just to collect, and that's it. I mean, it pops up on my random mount, but that's it. So.
Or I like the hippogriffs because I like their run animation when they're ground mounted. So like the beginning of an expansion, I like that it flows and it's not derpy when it runs, like, or it's not floating. I like that it has actual feet. I know that doesn't make any sense, but
No, it makes sense.
I use
visually it's.
a vicious saber wherever.
Well, I
I'm-
get like sick.
only ground
Like
mounted.
when I ride with Rem and he's like flying, I have to look away from the computer because he does this shit on purpose because he knows it makes me sick. Like
Stop
I
doing the
can't.
loop.
I didn't used to be that way
Yeah,
either.
hold control and mouse wheel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He does it to me when we play another game too. Like and I literally like feel like I'm gonna throw
Well,
up.
no. So it's not just I'm a spacebar spammer whenever I'm on the mount where I'm running. So that's I'm moving erratically. I'm sorry.
That's code for he's a dick.
Wow.
More like I'm code for I'm a spaz. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, before we do our weekend wow, Stone, what is your absolute favorite taco?
Beef. I'm like, what the
Carne asada, copy.
what the hell? I don't know. I'm pretty picky with types of tacos, so it's usually just beef. I don't like fish, don't like chicken, don't like seafood crap. Give me a goddamn normal taco.
I like all of the things that you just
hold
said.
Hold on. Do you put refried beans in your hard shell taco? Yes or no?
No, but I also don't use grocery store hard shell tacos
you.
either. Those are not allowed in my home. If
Somebody-
you use them, it's okay. I'm not judging, but
No.
they're not allowed in my home. Like
I mean-
I don't home make. Like I buy the ones you have to cook, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't do the pre-manufactured.
Oh, I
Like-
don't care about.
They
In my
just
house, you
crumble-
got to actually make the taco a fucking taco while you're cooking it, or it won't stay closed. But no, I would know.
Okay.
No. I would if it was a tostada. Sometimes I make tostadas, but that's
different.
That's
not a
different. 100%. No, I don't think beef or any part of the inside of my taco belongs with beans unless I'm eating beans on the side.
Mhm.
Rem, what about you? I feel like this might be a friendship breaker here. If
What do you
say
mean? What is
it.
my favorite taco?
No, do you put refried beans in your taco?
Oh no, unless I have it on the side and I might scoop it in, but nothing like with my traditional street tacos.
Now,
I don't.
Taquitos, rolled tacos are really good dipped in
Yeah.
beans.
I either get carne asada or al pastor. I don't mess around with that.
Fish tacos are my favorite.
Carnitas is pretty good though. The chicken. So
Really good authentic fish tacos with homemade creme fraiche sauce. Like it's like a Baja sauce.
Creme fraiche.
So
like
good.
you get onions, cilantro, maybe some guac is really good on tacos.
I don't really like guacamole on tacos unless it's house made. Like unless I'm physically watching the person making it, I'm really picky about my guacamole
I know.
because avocado. Oh, I'm so hungry. Fuck. And it's too late to like beg my husband to go get food. Shit.
Why?
Because
Your
it's like
husband loves you.
10:30.
Make them cooking.
Rem, what
She
did
doesn't
you
want
do?
to die.
What did you do this week in WoW?
I actually played. Oh well, I was gonna play Horde with you, but then you ditched me for something else. So I leveled up my Nightborn Warrior a little bit, and yeah, mostly leveling up the mage and my little monk that I'm doing for heritage armor. A lot of heritage armor.
I just saw the word ketchup and steak in chat, and I don't even want to finish the sentence publicly.
Yep.
Because whatever you just said is a fucking abomination.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
I'm
is very anti ketchup on steak because like you just ruined good meat.
And even
Like, if it's
steak
a
sauce,
burger and
it's
it's a
hard for me to. My brother Dominic will put all the A1 all over, and my beef is not over seasoned. You should treat your meat like you love it, and it should be. You don't need to do marinade on your steak. You don't need to do anything fancy. The meat will treat you right if you're good to it and you respect it. You shouldn't overcook your fucking meat either because it's disrespectful and it hurts the steak's feelings.
Yeah.
I have very strong feelings about my steak.
Good. You are in the club then because
Yes,
But I
salt,
will admit,
pepper, butter, a sprig of rosemary. Yes.
I will admit I do like A1 steak sauce, but I mean I don't rely on that for the steak.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't rely on it. No.
I do like the flavor of A1, so sometimes I will dip chicken in it just because I do like the flavor. But
yeah, for other things, yeah, but steak just
I'll only use A1 if I was forced to eat somebody else's steak that was overcooked.
if it's well done, I don't even touch it. So
And the steak should melt in your mouth. You shouldn't have to spend 20 minutes chewing a piece. It should just... Oh, fuck, I'm hungry. Okay. That's all you did
Mark-
this week? I thought you did more.
no, it's mostly just all the alts.
I agree. Ketchup will make me murder somebody. That even inside my brain, it's
He is actually referring to he was playing a game and he asked a person that was on his own team whether or not he liked it or not, and the guy was like, "Yeah." And so our friend
Did you
here in
shoot
chat
him?
Yeah, that guy's a
Shoot him.
terrorist. If he
Kill
liked
him.
ketchup, he's a
Killed
terrorist.
him. Killed him in a game of PUBG. Sorry, but yeah, it was funny. It was good. And it should be online
Terrorist
somewhere.
and or masochist. One of those two.
Good old Zords.
I mean,
Zords.
that's a deal breaker. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't think I
Absolutely.
could be friends with somebody that puts fucking ketchup on their steak. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I would probably lose my shit.
I have to make it a mission to eat ketchup with
I mean,
On a steak.
ketchup is good with for a lot of things, but steak is just
Sure.
hurtful, plain hurtful. Stone,
Well,
what
isn't
did you
A1
do?
essentially ketchup
No.
Um,
and a mixture of it? I don't know. It's
vinegar. That's I do like the salad vinegar sometimes, not with the steak, but I think I have like the salad vinegar where it's like not just vinegar, but it's like it's got some other shit in it. Sometimes I like to take a bite of my salad and put that with the steak, and it's pretty good.
steak and potatoes.
I'm getting steak this weekend. For those of you who have me on Snapchat, they already know that I literally eat steak probably 3 times a week.
It hasn't been as bad lately, but sometimes she'll disappear like late at night, and it's 10 o'clock at this time, and she comes back with the fucking.
A steak that I like perfectly seared on both sides with butter, a little bit of rosemary, and like I'll just go to town eating an entire steak at the computer.
It's either steak or scalloped potatoes.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with steak in general. I'm like the grandma from Napoleon Dynamite, except
What?
not the grandma, because she always has steak. Every time you see them, they're eating steak.
Okay.
Uncle Rico throws the steak at Napoleon. Anyway.
It's been a while since I watched
It's a really good movie if you guys don't watch it, because
No, I've seen it. It's been a long time.
Get bow hunting skills.
When I met my husband, little did I know that him and his roommate could do that dance. And I got to tell you, it was love at first sight. Anyway, he's going to kill me for telling that story. Stone, what did you do this week besides all your Iron Man stuff? I think I saw something on Twitter about you killing a boss and not being dead.
God. It's over. Okay, so usually, so our raid team is pretty small, and usually on hard bosses, the first time we end up killing the bloody thing, I'm usually dead. I somehow, some way, I'm usually dead, and it's like Jesus Christ. So for the like Coven, God, fuck, Coven, such a
Oh, the old man wall.
shit show.
I look
hated
forward to Coven because I know I'm going to be dead and I can take a break and go potty.
Yeah, Coven was it was my least favorite fight out of everything. But Coven, a bunch of bosses. And for the first time, we got Argus down, and I wasn't dead. I was like, "What? What's going on?"
Something's wrong.
But-
I feel like
Well,
that's
the
because the
only-
tree resurrects you.
No. Oh, you know what? I actually checked to see if it counts as a death, and yes, if you were on an Iron Man and you were allowed to go in a raid, and if you did that boss, you would be dead, and it would count as a death. So sad, bye bye. But so the only thing that was different between our other polls and this one was beer. I had my first beer in like 4 months or something, and feeling good, doing my little thing in Death Knight Unholy and all that stuff,
Making
and,
you more fluid, I guess. Yeah.
and finally kicking the crap out of it. And yeah, it's over. It's over. Thank God. I actually think Coven was a harder fight, to be honest.
Yeah, I know the learning curve
So
for
random.
Coven
It's
Heroic
random.
is insane. Yeah.
just random this, throw it, and you could do the fight perfectly, and you could still die. That's not a good fight.
No, and it's funny because there's sometimes where there's complicated fights that I just get. And I don't know why I'm like that. There's sometimes like the Argus fight's a fairly complicated fight. It's meant to be, it's the last boss. But to me, I completely, outside of when they move stuff, they're not supposed to move when the markers are different and you're used to a certain set of markers. But sometimes the more complicated bosses I just get because the mechanics make sense, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
But the Coven doesn't have any divine... I think I'm supposed to move and I have to stand still, and then I think I have to stand still and I'm supposed to move, and then I think I'm supposed to be in the middle because the thing's going to happen on the outside, and then fire's in the middle, and then, like, there's no...
Well, I'm more kind of cheese about the random placements of safe zones and then the frost swirly. It's like that part can screw your whole raid and you're done,
Then
and yet everything's fine.
you got
So the
static
game-
underneath you, electricity, right? And you can't stand next to another person, but there's only one safe zone where there's 20, like, there's half
And then
the...
Belle moseys over and kills you. It's like, okay.
Listen, I'm getting yelled at to get in the safe spot, but I also have the electricity under my feet, and you're not supposed to be by anybody. I think it's electricity, isn't it?
Yeah, for the Golganeth.
You're
one.
not supposed to be by them. And then the thing happens where you're supposed to move because it's like, what is it, a weapon?
Swirling sword
I'll
comes
be
down.
fucked if I didn't get all of them at one time, and I can only be in one tiny spot, and I'm like, well, shit, there's really no graceful way to make this happen. One of us is dying on this little tiny safe zone, and it's probably
That's why I love that one comic I showed you, because it embodies the fight so well.
You have to show it to me.
No, Corey, you're right. And the reason I haven't really done much social media in general. I think, I don't really know. I feel like I'm going through a midlife crisis without the midlife. Like, I don't necessarily want to go get a convertible and get a young hot girlfriend. Like, it's not the traditional midlife, but I just feel I've been really down lately, and I'm trying to not be that way. It's been really rough. I don't know. Work's been shit, and stuff happened all the way around in every aspect of my life. So it's made me, yeah. Not as efficient as I used to be bouncing back. And I think it's just, I don't know what it is, but we're working on that. We are working, but I am going to make it my business, to do stuff. Yeah. Blink through shit. What?
Yeah,
He's a mage.
yeah, because we all roll mages.
Yeah. Nate, isn't that what people do when they go through midlife crises? They get, they grow a mustache, and they get a convertible, and they wear leather, and they get a young girlfriend that is the age of their daughter, and
So fun.
they buy a bungalow on the beach, and they wear shoes with no fucking socks because it's trendy. I feel like that's what people do for middle age.
What about socks with sandals?
I feel like that is...
What? Bring it back.
I can say how I feel, but I cannot because it's not appropriate for public. But after show, I will tell you my thoughts on that. But it's one of those things where it's not appropriate for. But it's very
What
specific.
about socks and Crocs?
I just think Crocs don't belong in anybody's
No.
wardrobe. But then again, I'm also a flip flop girl, but I am a specific type of flip flop. If that makes any sense.
Anyways.
Right? But I don't wear socks with flip-flops because that's weird. It doesn't, I don't know.
Kind of pushing time.
But I feel like people that wear socks with flip-flops are trying to hide their feet. And I have a theory about feet. And I feel like, now, this is typically applied to females, but I think that we can do a blanket statement here. But I think if a person has gross feet, that it's probably logical to assume that they have gross other parts. Because if you can't take care of your feet, which are visible, you're not going to take care of something that's hidden. But that has been a rule of thumb that I give all my male friends and my brothers is check out the feet. Because if the feet are funky, it's not going to be any better anywhere else. That's life advice from Belle today that you guys got for free. So take that for what it's worth. And that could be applied to both men and women. That's not just female specific, although I do use it as a means to teach my brothers how to look for proper. You know what it is? It's because, like, we talk like this normally, so it's really difficult to have, like, both of you here, because, like, this is shit that we would talk about not on the show. So.
Yep. Well, I feel okay. See, like we've talked before, and so I feel comfortable saying shit, right? So, just I'm saying wow because I'm thinking, damn, I just wonder how many people are gonna be like, oh, what? Holy shit,
It's a good
The
life
funny thing
lesson, though.
is, you will forever look at people's feet.
I will. Fuck. God damn.
You will forever look at people's feet. I have a couple other theories that we're not going to talk about now, but at some point I'm sure they'll come out. But I'm telling you, you'll never look at people's feet the same. It's true, too. I've never been wrong. I've had my brother call me and tell me, dude, you were totally right. I know. I'm never wrong. I'm telling you. It's true. True. Why does it smell like Fritos? Now, I didn't say that it means everybody with clean feet means, but it's logical to assume that if the feet are not clean, that other stuff's not.
Yeah, the chances are a lot higher.
Yes. And you have to be real careful. Guys, that's a very serious situation. And
You get schmegma.
yeah. That's nobody's friend. You get what I'm saying? That's nobody's friend. So there, you guys got life advice from Belle today. So if you needed that advice,
or not, it's still added to your.
you might not have known you needed it. I don't really know that I've ever seen Rem's feet, honestly.
Okay. Well,
Like
at BlizzCon, we can hold him down and take off his shoes and socks and just check him out.
because I'm pretty sure maybe my husband's seen his feet.
Wow.
I mean, I've walked around your house.
Your brother will, and he can tell you.
It's true. I'll have.
Actually, Stark has seen my feet because
I don't know that I would have paid attention. Like,
well, because no. Anyways,
I'm trying to think.
Man.
I just changed everybody's life. Like, everybody's life is changed forever.
I'm trying to think of the last person's feet I actually saw my wife or something.
You should go back in time in your mind, and you should go back in time to past,
relationships.
relationships. You should go back in time, and you should see if you could put two and two together, and see if you could remember. We all remember those times when you wanted to chew off your own fucking arm because you don't know what you got yourself into. So just remember, and then you're gonna be like, dude, Belle is like a fucking genius. But what it is because I have OCD and I have a germ phobia. The germ phobia makes me think of things that people wouldn't normally think of. Like when we're in public and I'll tell, like, especially at BlizzCon, and I'm like, don't do this thing. And they're like, why? And then I go like 60 degrees of this is the reason, you shouldn't do this. Yeah. And Rem's like, I just wanted to get a fucking napkin from the taco truck. Like, I don't know why it's so serious, but the OCD makes me a little bit manic and think about stuff that people wouldn't normally. Like, I imagine, like, yeah.
Yeah. So back on track.
My week in WoW. Did you do you did you? Oh yes. Yeah, we talked about your rating. So I've been just doing guild stuff, and I don't really have a whole lot to do on both the tunes that I play, like, religiously. They're both, I'm not raiding. I needed to take a break for no other reason other than I just have a lot going on in life, and I just needed to turn my scheduled activities down to where I didn't have to answer to be a specific place. I needed to just, sometimes I work until 6 or 7 and I get like an hour of game time, and I needed to just cut that back, and raiding is especially not fun for me. So if I go in grumpy, I'm going to be grumpy the whole time, and nobody wants to pay $15 a month to be grumpy. So, I've been working on the Nightborn very slowly, but I think she's at, like, what are we, 40? I'm 40 now?
Like 35.
I feel like I'm 40. I'm probably not 40. I'm probably 35. And then I made the Paladin, which is the Lightforged Paladin. And her name is Belle Avenger. And then I made the warrior, the Void Elf warrior. She is Executabel. And those are the last two classes that I haven't attempted to level. I'm really scared because those are the hardest in my opinion. Like, I can handle the DK from a leveling side. I could handle mage and druid and all of that. But I'm really afraid of both of those. So I'm excited to see what that adventure looks like with something different that... And what if I mess around and really love it? But I don't know. I'm excited about that. And then I did alpha.
You're gonna need to do tank on those so we can get that queue, by the way.
I'm doing did alpha testing. It was mentioned earlier. I made notes. And they have this great system in alpha now where when you turn in a quest, you can give feedback right then and there. And I was finding all kinds of like weird bugs, like a rug disappearing and reappearing and disappearing and reappearing when I like walked in the room. So I felt really good about being able to give that feedback, like instantly and quickly without having to go to a separate thing. But I was writing it down so that I wouldn't forget. I did give some feedback on a thing that I went through that was super dark. Like, the shit was dark. But I approved 150%. And I don't want to give anything.
Are you talking about the Salem witch trials?
Yeah, but I didn't want to give like spoilers or anything. But that shit was like really dark. I was not expecting that, and I sent feedback and was like, "This is fucking cool. Like, I liked it." I sent feedback making fun of their math because there's a thing where you have to collect these blood flies, and there's like 5 or 4 in a group. So the perception when you click on them is that if you click on one and they all go away, then that means you've collected all 4 or 5 that's in that little swarm. That's actually not what happened. When you clicked on one, they all disappeared and you got 1. Which, to me, I just said... I think it was Corey was like, that's that Common Core math. So I just messaged and was like, maybe you should make each one individually.
How the questing has always been. Like, go get the bear livers. Somehow 9 of the 10 don't have livers. Like,
right, but in this case, there's 5 of them separately glowing, but they're together. So when you click the one, you're assuming you're grabbing them all. If you're not going to get them all, then you should make them individually clickable.
Well, I assume if I kill a bear, I'm going to get
I don't want them to like lessen the amount that we need, and I don't want them to give us all 5 for one click. I'm fine clicking them individually. I just felt some of that... I'm trying to pay attention to the small details because I feel like that this stuff's really important, and I think it's missed a lot. And a lot of people that have access to alpha don't necessarily do what they're supposed to do with it, and it's a big pet peeve of mine. So, and I got really good warlock feedback, which, Rem, you might be interested. So remember a couple weeks ago I had mentioned that it was really difficult for me to generate soul shards. And I felt like I don't know what was different and why I wasn't generating them, but I hadn't really paid attention to my setup because I was testing different talents. So I found out I was testing one talent that didn't really make sense for what I was doing, because when you're doing solo stuff, you're typically pulling tons of things. I didn't have my fire and brimstone. I was using, I don't remember, I think I was using like Inferno, which is great. It might be useful for raids, but Inferno gives you an additional 10% damage for your Rain of Fire ?
Mm-hmm.
But the fire and brimstone, for every target your fire and brimstone hits with your incinerate, it generates soul shards. Like, like a point, it's like a 0.3 or whatever. Yeah. Once I switched to fire and brimstone, the soul shards were generating in a normal fashion again, where it didn't feel like, I wasn't doing that. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, is testing those kinds of things. I have to start with the warlock and branch out because the warlock's what I know best, but it's nice to go in there and, feedback and stuff. But that was pretty much my, I didn't do as much as I would have liked, but
I just got alpha like today. So
I thought you had it.
No. Come on. No. I'm not that important. But the thing is that I don't necessarily want to test the questing out, so I'm probably not the best person because I don't want to spoil the lore.
Right.
I want to go back and test system stuff out for low level stuff.
Yeah.
That's still very important because
you're a numbers guy.
Yeah.
There's other stuff where I'm more of I'm a flow. Like, how is stuff flowing? How is it making sense? I don't really know that I'm the best person because I get lost trying to find my way around, but
Well, they also have that little option there. It's like, I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to go.
I would be clicking that every 5 minutes, if I'm being honest. I think we all could agree.
No, because it actually has one where it's like, I'm confused on where to go. It's actually pretty cool.
Does it tell you, like, if you click it?
I don't know. I've never been lost.
Oh, because I'm Mr. Perfect.
No, because I always know where I'm going to be
Because
going.
he always knows. GPS is always right. GPS has never failed you and told you to make a left when you're supposed to make a right. Ever?
Not that I'm aware of.
So it's just me. Got it. My fucking hate-ass GPS told me to make a left, and I was supposed to just go straight, and I ended up on the fucking terminal freeway by the fucking airport. Me and my mom was like, look, it's telling you to turn this way next. And I'm like, seriously? Because that's the middle of the airport. We're going to get shot. Anyway, so, you guys, I know most of you probably already know who Stone is because, you know, he's Stone. He's the man. He's the guy. He does the things. He is, outside of what he does for WoW Challenges, which he is the curator of the website, he does have help. He's got Lita, and I think you just brought somebody else on, right, to assist?
Yep, we got Nisi to take care of all of our making sure our blog posts are done and Twitter and Facebook and everything. So it's not all just me. So in case I get hit by a bus, I will feel better knowing that things are going to get taken care of.
I agree 100%. In fact, that's one of my fears is getting hit by a bus and not having anybody to pass the torch to because I'm a control freak. So I get it.
She doesn't trust anybody.
Well, it's hard to find people that love it like you do. So when it's yours and it's your, even no matter who you bring in with you, if it was yours originally and you're the last one of that original, it, you know, nobody will ever love it like, you know. But then people come along and you find that, while you'll still be OCD about things, you could at least, you know, feel good that it's in good hands. And just sometimes you have to be focusing on the content instead of the process, because the process is 99% of the reason people burn out or people stop doing it. And I've been so focused on process that I think that maybe that combined with life stuff made me just not, that's why I haven't been like super social. So you did the right thing. I think it's an exciting thing. And Lita, who will be with us next week, I believe. I'm so excited. I can't stand it. Because I love you, but like...
Wow.
You know, like...
you know what? You could have left that for like the start of the next show.
No, but like
I haven't even... Like
you're
the episode's
my dude. You're my people. Right? Like, you're my dude, you're my people.
They're already over me.
But, like, I get to see your face every year. I don't really get to see Lita's, you know?
Lita's coming this year.
You're lying.
And I will tell you, she's the only real reason why I'm going to BlizzCon this year is so that I can meet her in person. Yeah.
I mean, to me, you were never not going, so I'm not sure what you mean there. But I'm going to let you think that, though, for sure.
Yeah.
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 It's okay. Sometimes you have to let men think they're in charge. That's how men are happy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exciting. I am freaking stoked. I'm stoked to hear about that. So I want you guys, if you have ever thought about Iron Man or you're interested in what Iron Man's all about, or right now is the perfect time to do something Iron Man related because we're in between content. There isn't a whole lot going on. So you can... There's several different versions of the Iron Man challenge. You could pick one that suits your needs. You can pick one that you want to be more challenging. You can start off with a lighter version, you know, a little bit more laxed version, and then you can kind of dip into the heavier stuff. But it's a great community. And I encourage you guys have a Discord and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
I'm going to link the website and all that stuff is going to be wrapped up with the episode. But I think... Stone's probably going to link the website in the chat for people that are watching, if you don't already know.
Am I allowed to? Or
Nope.
is
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna make sure when this is posted on iTunes, it should be in the description. If it's not, just send me an email, or just look up WoW challenges. I mean, you'll find it.
.com. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll find it.
should be there.
And then follow him at Stonegrasp. You can also please follow at WoW Challenges, which I think Nisi's the one that takes care of the Twitter now, right? So I guess I should stop sending awkward feet
If you
pictures.
want to, if you want to like send all your stuff directly to me, probably better to my personal Twitter
Got
account.
it.
Not
So no more feet pictures to the WoW Challenges.
Oh, you in the
Got
tub
it.
or
hasn't really
something?
told me anything about that, so maybe she likes it. So
They're
keep it up.
clean, so maybe. Gonna throw
Wow.
that out there. Throw that right on in there. I
they
absolutely
here?
had an amazing evening. I want to thank you for joining us, Master Stone, because I had a fabulous time.
Thank you for having me.
I really needed this because it was a rough week, so I'm
Yeah.
really enjoy just. I mean, not even just being on the show. It's just I really enjoy just hanging out and just.
BSing, right? Just not doing a whole lot of anything.
Yeah, you're my
important.
favorite people, Stone. No bullshit. So I enjoyed this.
Wow, they just had a moment,
Hey,
guys, and we just
hold
saw
on.
this shit live.
Hold on. Before we go, last year at Calm Before the Storm, when I was up on the panel, I was freaking out, and in the front row, I kept looking at Rem. And he's sitting there like, you're doing good. I'm like, shit. So
So funny that you say that because I had told when I was like trying to teach Rem like the ropes of podcasting because it's something you have to learn. There's behaviors and habits that people have and you have to break those habits, making sure you mute when you drink. Like there's just things as a podcaster you have to be aware of. And I'm real OCD about that kind of stuff. Like Jim ate food on the show and I censored his box
Yeah,
the
it's
entire
Canadian
time
food,
he was
isn't it?
eating on the show. And I told him I was going to do it if he ate on the show because I just don't. People do not want to watch you stuff your face on a show. Stream, that's different because it's a stream. Like,
Sure.
you're watching me do weird shit in my house. So you're probably going to see me eat a tiny pie and didn't see the fact that I ate a second one because the first pie didn't fill me up. But whatever. But I had told Rem, pick some, and I think I told you too, pick somebody. Pick one face in the audience or wherever, whatever you're doing. Like I would tell Rem, pick one of the boxes here and just talk to that box. Because that's the best way to publicly speak. You did a great job. You did a
Yeah, you did really
fantastic
it
job.
went by very fast. Thank God.
I can't confirm or deny things that are happening this year, but I'm really excited for what's happening this year. But good things, man. I'm really glad that you're still going.
Soon.
I'm bringing my Lita. So, thank you
Yep.
for joining, guys. Go follow him if you don't. If you're listening to this later, go follow. Give the man some love. Give Lita some love. You can find them all over Twitter. You can go to my Twitter and see that they're all over the place. Follow. Be a part of it. Go do an Iron Man. Even if it's something you do maybe sporadically,
often, yeah.
Maybe once every couple of weeks you pick it up and go check it out. Just do it. I'm going to put it on my list to do. I know I've been saying this for a really long time.
So, is the Team Iron thing live at the moment then?
Yep. It's live.
Okay,
you just
let's
log
go.
in your
Well, you got to look up the
that account and
what you can and can't do.
Yep. You have to go research
I
your
already
stuff.
know.
And
Can't use talents. You can't use professions.
Wait, you
can-
can't use talents?
nope.
What the fuck?
Well, talents aren't really that big of a deal anyways, but so it doesn't really a lot, honestly. But yeah.
I'm going to need more mini pie. Like, if that's going to be a
just-
thing,
we just
I'm
told
going
her-
to need...
We just told her to run and like put out a stick in front of her leg. She's like,
It does. It feels very reminiscent of fucking being a warlock and hitting shit with sticks and... I'm in. We're gonna do it.
We're also waiting for Classic too, and once we get more info about Classic, because we're gonna do like an Iron Man Classic, and we just need to see what the data will look like. If Blizzard will even make that information out
Public.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, we got
so
a
we
long
don't
time
even
for
know.
that, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm peeing on the tree. so to speak, marking my territory.
So
just
I
to
can't
let
have
people
any
know.
talents?
No, and you can't do healing potions either.
Well, that's
no
fine.
potions, no professions, no like.
But can
food
I
plot.
use my healing spell?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drain life and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
Or
No talents?
But talents don't really help you a whole lot, anyways. Honestly, I mean they're typically nice to have things, but overall, the grand scheme, And honest, I mean, I really would like, based on what I saw from the alpha, I really would like to see the stat squish come out now, please.
well, that will be part of the pre-patch. That's some of the
Yeah.
background stuff. So we'll get it.
Well,
sooner
we're
than-
assuming we actually don't. They haven't confirmed that it's going to be in the pre-patch.
It would make sense for it to be.
I mean, they've
In
done it before
Warlords-
where it wasn't
in
necessarily
Warlords, it
rolled out in the
wasn't,
pre-patch,
yeah.
but
In Warlords, it wasn't pre-patch. So,
Hmm.
I mean, it's in it. I mean, it's in the 8.01 right now, I guess, right? So,
yeah,
but we don't have a updated PTR right now. So,
Nope.
PTR
no.
is
But I think
locked.
last week, I think I predicted like mid-June for pre-patch.
So what?
For pre-patch. So, and I'm going to tell you why my thought process is that. So, we just started Legion PvP Season 7. We know that there's only 7 seasons because there's only 7 seasons. So,
Why?
PTR tells us there's only 7 seasons. There was gear and stuff data mined up to Season 7.
Ah,
So
okay,
we know
gotcha.
that there's not going to be any more unless Blizzard's like, surprise, here's an extra season that nobody knew about. Highly unlikely. The average season's about 3 months long. So if you, and it's give or take. It's on their whim kind of and when they feel. Honestly, sometimes it's tied to a patch. Other times it's, you know, if they're not adding a lot of data rewards or doing major overhaul, it's not tied to a patch. So if you figure we just started this week, it's, you know, the 3rd week of March, April, May, about midway through June, we're out of content officially. Like the PvP is the last set of content that we have because everybody's, you know, we're still clearing stuff, but the raids are pretty much done.
There's
So
stuff
they
to
have
drain
to do
artifacts and all that.
something. It's the perfect time for pre-patch because although it says on or before September, I've been telling people that I feel like it's going to be August. So that would make, you know, June, July. Hopefully the pre-patch stuff is robust to give us stuff to do. But yeah, I think we're probably, I wouldn't, it would, June for sure. I'd be surprised if it was in May, but I think June's probably the best bet. I'm not usually wrong.
No.
I mean, I have been, but it's not very often.
Well, there was supposed to be something happening in March and it didn't happen. So I don't know.
It's semi-did.
No,
The-
not
The
Shore
Seething
stuff.
Shore was a
Shore.
big deal.
No, there's supposed to be something happening the week after and nothing happened.
Well, the problem is things change.
Yes. Yep.
All right, we're gonna get the hell on out of here. Hey guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Holy fuck, we had a long show. This is longer
Sorry.
than ever, which is awesome because that must mean if we enjoyed it, they enjoyed it. You broke a record.
Long?
Right. It's
Sorry.
accurate though, right? Because boys aren't always accurate. Boy sizing is not the same as female sizing, okay? You guys learned about feet. You learned a thing, a life lesson from Belle. You learned
Time lost, feet, steak.
yes,
Just did
we
everything,
got
yeah.
many good life things that happened on today's episode. Stone, I love you, dude. Thank you for coming to hang out with us. Go follow, support, do good things to what they're doing because it's a service to the community and it's good things. We are going to get the gun out of here because I'm starving.
Fucking, I'm tired.
I love you all.
Peace.
I need to get like a, you know, I need to like pay a person to like come up behind me and like do that thing. I feel like that might be awkward. Do you think it might be awkward? I just pay somebody, maybe my daughter. Just pay her to do stuff.
2 a.m. Was it 3 hours long? Holy shit.
Yeah, it was. I didn't really realize it. It was funny because I was really tired before the show, and now I'm not so much.
There we go.